Watching Capital One Bowl Mania.
This great day of football will finish down in South Florida, but it begins on the water in North Florida, in Jacksonville. The Wake Forest Demon Deacons ranked 17th in the country, trying to cap off one of their best seasons ever. They thought they were getting the Texas A&M Aggies, but at the last minute, here are the Rutgers Scarlet Knights to play the Deeks today. Welcome to the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. It is number 17 Wake Forest against the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. With my man Mark Herzlich and Alyssa Lang, I'm Taylor Zarzer. Welcome to Jacksonville. We're pumped about those semifinals just like you are too. But we're excited about this matchup today. We get to see one of the most prolific offenses in the country in the Demon Deacons.
Yeah, they're putting up yards like crazy and points like crazy, and they're all led by one man, number 10. Sam Hartman has been phenomenal for this Wake Forest offense all year. He can do it on the ground, and he does it so well through the air, especially when you get down towards the red zone. He does a great job of moving in the pocket, seeing the whole field, and delivering balls for strikes. Look at that, 47 touchdowns, 36 pass, 11 rush. Been absolutely phenomenal. He's got guys around him that are great too, but watch out for number 10 today.
And we're going to get to see him in just a second as Wake will receive the kick. Look at that. That's just in a single season. He has a chance to get to Deshaun or maybe even Lamar Jackson today if he has a big game. Well, we thought that Dave Clawson, Sam Hartman, and Wake Forest were going to get to play Texas A&M, the only team that beat Alabama. The game was announced Sunday after the conference championships were played, as the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl matchup was made. But then on December 22nd, Jimbo Fisher's team had to pull out due to injuries and due to COVID positives. Rutgers to the rescue.
Yeah, Greg Schiano, he got that call, and he called his players and said, texted, hey, do you guys want to play? There was a resounding yes, and 90% of his guys live within a 2-hour drive of campus, so it was easy to get them back. And they're here down in Florida ready to go.
How is he feeling? Greg Schiano on the field right now with Alyssa Lang.
Coach, you talk so much about the adversity your team has played through for the last year and a half. How has that helped them prepare for today?
Well, it's definitely helped, and the guys have done a great job. They've been excited to play and doing everything we.
What has to happen today for you guys to get the win?
Well, we have to take care of the football, and we have to do some things in the kicking game.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Good.
Yeah, no question. These got to be a smart team today if they're going to pull off this big upset of Wake Forest. But Mark,
look at that.
5 times we've seen teams with losing records in bowl games, and 4 of them have been victorious.
Yeah, it's crazy to see a 5-7 team make a bowl game. Obviously, it hasn't happened since 2016, but Rutgers, they are excited to try to be that 5th team that gets a win today in a bowl game in FBF history. And they're going to have a tough challenge, though, as we talked about that high-flying offense that Wake Forest has.
Dave Clawson's done a magnificent job in his 8 seasons at Wake Forest. Just signed a new contract extension, is taken Wake from good to great, and 6 consecutive bowl trips. No Wake Forest coach had ever done that before, as Wake makes their 16th bowl appearance. This is the 3rd ever meeting between Wake Forest and Rutgers. Wake won the first 2 in Piscataway in 1997 and in Winston-Salem in 1999. Taylor Morin from the 2-yard line. And he dives up to the 17, and that's where we get to see what Mark talked about. Sam Hartman in that Wake Forest offense, still listed as a redshirt sophomore because of extra years of COVID eligibility and a redshirt season. But he's been in college a long time now, Mark, and he's been terrific.
Yeah, and he started his first 9 games of the year in 2018 as a true freshman. Then he was replaced. Jamie Newman came in and had a great year in 2019. He was back in 2020, and now 2021, he is shining.
Needs 38 yards for 9,000 in his career. He used 4 different running backs in the game, and here's the first one. Straight ahead to Christian Beal-Smith, and he picks up 5. You were telling us, as you get to see the Deeks a lot during the season on ACC Network, how strange and unique their setup is in this RPO.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's a long mesh play. Where you're going to see the quarterback, Sam Hartman, put the ball in the stomach of his running back and then kind of hop over behind him and kind of walk the dog towards the line of scrimmage and decide if he's going to throw or pass in this RPO. It kind of similar to what you see at a lot of the service academies where at the end of the play, you'll get a quarterback about a yard and a half behind the line of scrimmage, and he can either run or block for his lead back or pick it up and throw the ball.
5 for Beal Smith on the first play, 4 on the second. He goes to the bench. Justice Ellison now standing next to Hartman on this 3rd and 1. And there's some movement here. His referee is Kevin Marr.
Trying to decide offense or defense here. Shouldn't be that complicated.
Offside. Defense number 50. Up in the neutral zone. 3rd down.
Julius Turner.
Yeah, you're going to see Wake do this a lot, where they're going to get lined up,
Correction.
stop,
First
turn
down.
to the sideline, get the new call, and go back. So something that Rutgers defensive line's got to be aware of.
And a couple linebackers out today for Rutgers, unavailable, so they had to go to the bench. Olakunle Fatakasi and Tyshawn Fogg both not playing at the linebacker spot. First pass of the game is Hartman to A.T. Perry. It's a completion for 8 yards. Now, A.T.'s out there, one of the best receivers in the ACC, but Jaquari Roberson, his running mate, is not, dealing with an injury and unavailable for today's game. He was gutted by that. Wanted to play today, but unable. 2nd and 2 for Ellison, and Justice moves the chains up to the 42-yard line. That's what Roberson did this year. Amazing what Perry and Roberson did collectively this season.
Having 2 1,000-yard receivers on your team in the same season is almost unheard of. And they are very good route runners. They also have great hands. Both of them are so good at catching the football in the air.
How about Morin catching that ball with Hartman moving the pocket? Does a very good job moving his feet and completes it down near the 30-yard line for 26 yards to the redshirt freshman.
Yeah, and Taylor Morin, he's probably the surprise of the year. He's had a couple phenomenal outings and really become that 3rd wide receiver for this Wake Forest team.
Each one of the quickest teams in the country. There is a flag down on the field. Hartman gets out of there, and he's tackled near the 30-yard line. We do have a flag on the field.
Offside. Defense number 91 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Cameron Stewart gives Wake a free play.
You saw in that last play, the defensive line for Greg Schiano's Rutgers team jumped in the air. A lot of guys got their hands up. Sam Hartman's had a lot of passes knocked down this year because that release happened so close to the line of scrimmage. They've obviously been studying their film and their scouting reports, even though they've only had 8 days. And now, man, maybe in the scouting report should have said hard count. Be ready for the hard count.
It's Keontae Hamilton.
Offside. Defense number 48 causing the offense to react. 5-yard penalty. Enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, this is one of the most disciplined teams in college football for Greg Schiano. It's the last thing you need when you have a lot of people out today.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. You know, you can't have penalties hurt you, and you mentioned it. They're one of the fewest penalized teams in the country, and it's uncharacteristic. But you know, these are the types of things that Greg Schiano probably expected early. He only got his guys back 8 days ago, getting ready for this game, so a little nerves.
Hartman pumps and throws to Morin near the bench, and he's ahead out at the 21-yard line. He's one of the players you would think that would step up today. And one of the things about Wake Forest, everybody wondered, will Dave Clawson take a new job? Would he get poached by some big blue blood? All of these guys are going to be back next year. And it's a completion inside the 10 to Stewart, 1st and goal, Demon Deacons.
Man, Stewart at 6'4", 210 pounds, 5th-year senior out of Elizabeth, New Jersey. He's a New Jersey guy, but you know, he's been another guy. He's been consistent for this team, but really stepped up this year on the perimeter with that big body. And now you got to look for A.T. Perry in the red zone. 14 touchdowns receiving this year.
Instead, they go to Beal Smith on the ground, and he's down to the 4. It'll be 2nd and goal from there. Izian preventing the touchdown there for the Scarlet Knights, but they have their backs against the wall in the first drive of the game. Hartman all day, throws to Morin. He's in, it's a touchdown. It's Brandon Chapman, the tight end, who makes the catch. Easy pitch and catch for the Deeks all the way down the field.
Second touchdown of Chapman's season. Got a little bunch set, freed up their tight end to the flat, and you saw the amount of time Sam Hartman has back there. I mean, this offensive line has really been good this year, and he feels so comfortable stepping up in the pocket and is so good at finding that third option in the route progression. We saw a couple times in that drive, just turn to the flat and get some extra yards.
Nick Skiba is one of the best kickers in college football history, and he makes it 7-0. Sam Hartman 5 for 5, 54 yards to 4 different receivers, including Brandon Chapman. He's one of 7 six-year seniors for the Deeks. The old guys up early. Man, a beautiful day here in Jacksonville. Later today, it's what college football fans have been waiting for, the CFP semifinals at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. It's the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic between number 1 Alabama and number 4 Cincinnati. Then at 7:30 Eastern, it's number 2 Michigan and number 3 Georgia down in South Florida in the Capital One Orange Bowl. With Mark Herzlich and Alyssa Lang, I'm Taylor Zarza. Am I crazy? Do the Bearcats have a shot against Bama?
No, you're not crazy. This is college football. Anyone has a shot anytime you step on the field. However, this is a different cat. I mean, we talk about the Bearcats. This is a different cat that they're going to be playing. And there's going to be a lot of, you look at the star-studded talent on that Alabama's team, although Cincinnati's defense has been really good. Desmond Ritter's been fantastic. Luke Fickell's got his team moving in the right direction. It's going to be a tough one to pull out.
That's coming up next. Here, Wake leads Rutgers 7-0, and the Scarlet Knights are led by their senior quarterback, Noah Vedral, who's been all over the map. Started his career here in the state of Florida after being a 3-sport athlete at home in Wahoo, Nebraska. He was Mackenzie Milton's backup on that undefeated UCF team, then went to Nebraska, transferred to Piscataway. See what he did against Michigan last year with those 3 touchdowns. He's making his 20th career start today.
Yeah, and he's been a guy that he's going to be a true dual threat guy. You're going to see him run the ball. You're going to see him command this offense, really just conduct it. They're a big scheme offense where they get the big guys in good positions to help lead the way for some of their skilled guys on the perimeter.
A lot of traffic in that pattern as Isaiah Washington was in the range there, but incomplete. Look at the bottom note there. They're missing Isaiah Pacheco and Bo Melton, 2 of their best playmakers today. So it's Aaron Young in the backfield, and it's guys like Shameen Jones and Isaiah Washington at receiver to look for today.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys who aren't playing this game for whatever reason for Rutgers, but it's an opportunity for a lot of these young guys to make a name for themselves against this big ACC competition.
Vedral wisely does not give the football to Aaron Young as Luke Masterson just about took the snap there. 3rd down.
Yeah, Luke Masterson was in the backfield. Rondell Bothroyd was also there as well, and this is going to be an aggressive Wake Forest defense. There's Bothroyd just flying in there. You see Miles Fox, the 7th-year guy, in there as well, but they will pressure you, especially on this down and distance. 3rd and 11, 2nd and long. They're going to come after you. You see linebackers walked up in the line of scrimmage. They can come from anywhere.
It was a loss of 1, so 3rd and 11 for the Scarlet Knights. Vedral's got time and an open receiver up to the 43-yard line. It's Matt Alimo, the tight end. 1st down, Scarlet Knights.
I mean, great job in the pocket by Noah Vedral, just understanding that, look, Wake Forest didn't pressure, so I'm going to have some time, and found his open receiver down the seam. And that's really the next step for Noah Vedral. How well can you stay in the pocket and utilize your coverages downfield to your advantage?
And he gets to take a break here. He goes off the field. Gavin Wimsett and Johnny Langan are both out there. Now, Langan can play some quarterback, but he's going to line up to the right of Wimsett and go in motion here. Wimsett will hand it off and pass the 45 up to the 48. It's a pickup of 8 for Aaron Young, the sophomore from Coatesville, Pennsylvania. Scarlet Knights are going to have to try to confuse the Deeks with all those players out today.
Yeah, and they're going to use multiple guys at the quarterback position. They've had 9 guys throw a pass this season, and you're going to see different packages for everybody. Johnny Langan, you mentioned him, number 21. He'll be in there. He has thrown the ball. He'll get in some Wildcat stuff. And then Gavin Wimsatt, you just talked about, he was the 4-star dual threat quarterback coming out of Kentucky in high school, and he's a threat to do multiple things as well.
Winsboro, first collegiate pass was a 4th down conversion that he had against Illinois to help him win the game. He wants to throw here on 2nd and 2 in trouble, and he's going to tiptoe the sideline and lose yardage. The ageless Miles Fox pushes him out of bounds, a 7th-year senior.
That's wild. I mean, think about being in a program for 7 years. I mean, you get NFL guys who don't even sniff 7 years with one team. Miles Fox has done it in college and started at ODU and transferred into Wake Forest. Now 3rd down and long again. Let's see if they can get another one through the air.
It's a loss of 6 on that last play. It brings Vedral back on the field to play quarterback for Rutgers. And it's another 3rd down completion into traffic inside the 40 to Giovanni Haskins. So the tight ends getting to work early for the Scarlet Knights.
He's an older guy too, 6-year guy. Started his career at Miami, then West Virginia. He's only had 9 catches. That's his 10th catch of the year, but you see the strong hands and the ability to work upfield after the catch. Those yards after catch are going to be important for Rutgers as Wake Forest. They've had some trouble tackling this year. They've been good in the past, but this year, not so much in terms of amount of missed tackles per game.
Johnny Langen is in the Wildcat now after that 21-yard completion. And Langen, who was a quarterback for years, look at all of that girth. We saw Tim Tebow do that a lot around these parts in North Florida for years. Langen moves the chain, or doesn't move the chains, but 6'3", 235, gets 9 yards straight up the gut.
Just moving right up the middle. I mean, this is going to be a big offensive line that Rutgers has, and kind of an undersized defensive front for Wake Forest. Wake Forest does a lot of movement, brings a lot of linebackers up there, but you see that push right up the middle. We have to keep our eye on that, as this offensive line is talented and they're veteran.
He stays at the quarterback spot. Well, 2nd and 1. 1st down, Scarlet Knights inside the 25.
Well, that's what you call running behind your pads. Johnny Langen just is getting almost horizontal to the ground and pushing his legs forward. And, that is the recipe to beat a Wake Forest defense. They have not been good all year on stopping the run. And this Rutgers is just playing right to that.
Which is a bit surprising, Hers. I mean, they're ranked 115th in the country. The Demon Deacons are on rushing defense, giving up 200+ yards per game. All these veterans on that side of the ball with 5th and 6th-year seniors. It's a handoff that goes to Langen this time, and he'll get a couple. Of course, Boogie Basham was a great pass rusher last year for Wake Forest that was drafted in the 2nd round. What have you thought about the Deacs defense?
Yeah, well, I think they've replaced him. You can't replace him fully, but Bothroyd has had a really big year at that defensive end position to replace him. And then they have really focused on that run defense over the last month of football this year. And while they have improved, that's going to be the weakness. When you're designing a defense to stop ACC teams, there's a lot of spread, a lot of zone read, so smaller guys usually up front.
11th play of the drive with Vedral back on the field. Gets out of there, throws to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Isaiah Washington was in the area, and so were half the players on the field.
Well, a lot of gold helmets around that football at the very end, and you saw Noah Vedral ended up scrambling out. It was a designed rollout to his left. One of the things that these wide receivers really need to do, I know there's a lot of guys out, but you need to work that scramble drill and start coming back and getting friendly to your quarterback so he has an outlet. And now on 3rd and 8, after they've been driving down the field, it seems like 3rd and 8 has been no problem for them. We'll see if Wake Forest decides to bring pressure. They haven't so far in this drive on 3rd down.
Yeah, they're 2 for 2 so far converting on 3rd and longs on this drive, and Vedral's got all day again, throws underneath, and it's a 1st down completion inside the 15 down to the 13 to Joshua Youngblood, the sophomore from Tampa.
And it was a phenomenal blitz pickup by this front and the running back for Rutgers, allowing time for Vedral to throw the ball downfield. You see that block right up in the middle. That's number 4, Aaron Young, on the blitzing linebacker, just providing enough time for Noah Vedral to find that crossing route. And another big 3rd and 8 pickup for Rutgers.
See 3 different quarterbacks playing in this game, and it's Vedral who gets it and gives it to Young. Young has daylight. There is a flag down, but it's a touchdown for Aaron Young, at least at the moment. Flag is on the other side of the field, so it's not in the neighborhood of what would be a hold.
Offside, defense number 24, lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
How about the Scarlet Knights? 13 plays down the field on their opening possession, culminating with a touchdown.
And watch how these guys pull around and get in front of their running back. Great job of understanding where their blocks are going to be and cutting off the backside. You see number 5, Ryan Smenda, no shot at getting over that block, and a great run using his blocks by Aaron Young.
Valentino Ambrosio for the extra point. And he sneaks it in there, and we got a tie game with 5:11 to go. My friend and yours, hers, is Matt Stinchcomb. He's got to love that offensive line blocking in front of these running backs early on in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl.
The TaxSlayer Gator Bowl is brought to you by TaxSlayer. File fearlessly. And St. Augustine Ponte Vedra. Enjoy family fun at Nights of Lights this holiday season.
They call this winter in Jacksonville, huh? It's like 80 degrees. It's beautiful here today. Great games today and tomorrow. Start the new year with 3 great bowl matchups, all on ESPN. The PlayStation Fiesta Bowl, number 9 Oklahoma State, number 5 Notre Dame. That's at 1 Eastern. At 5 Eastern, it's the Rose Bowl game, presented by Capital One Venture X. Number 11 Utah against number 6 Ohio State. And then the All-State Sugar Bowl is at 8:45 tomorrow night. Number 8 Baylor and number 7 Ole Miss. All coming up tomorrow night on New Year's Day. Tie game here, it's 7 apiece after that impressive 12-play drive by the Scarlet Knights. Deeks get it at the 25-yard line. And again, just so you get to see those games tomorrow, what do you think about Marcus Freeman in the Fighting Irish, Hurst?
I'm excited for him. You know, he's been such a phenomenal defensive mind, and watching what he did at Cincinnati, now he built that team, and then what he's done at Notre Dame, getting this opportunity to be the big boss, the head guy in a big bowl game to start it off at that. I mean, it's just phenomenal. And got to sit down with him, called a couple games of theirs at times, and I knew he was going to be a head coach and a successful one at that in some of those meetings. He's that good a person, can relate that well to his players.
One of the most moving moments of the year in college football is when he went into that locker room
awesome.
As the new head coach. Christian Beal-Smith gets ahead for 3 yards as the Deeks get it for a second time. Man that scored the touchdown is Aaron Young, his brother Avery on the tackle there. 2nd and 7 for Wake Forest, and Hartman fakes it into the belly and throws on the run, and it's dropped by Perry, thrown a bit behind him. It'll be 3rd down.
And watch how close Sam Hartman gets to the line of scrimmage. The ball is right at about the 27-yard line. He throws the ball from the 26-yard line. I mean, that never happens.
Who else does that?
No one.
Here's a 3rd and 7 for Hartman. He stands back this time. Doesn't like what he sees down the field. Runs out of there, and he's going to try to get the 1st down, and he does. Using his footwork to avoid the tackle and move the chains. Mohamed Touré had a chance at him, but couldn't get him down.
Just great coverage at the bottom of the screen. Good job of locking up all the defenders. Gone, 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 gone. So the only option for Sam Hartman is to run the football. Good job on the ground. And that's what that extra threat that Sam Hartman provides this team is when everything is covered, which Rutgers did well on that play. Someone has to spy their quarterback or he'll get loose for some big yards.
And he finds Whitehart on the next play for 9 yards. Most quarterbacks would have been sacked in the backfield by Touré on that previous play, but as much as we talk about Hartman as a thrower, he's a great runner too with 11 rushing touchdowns. At the last second, he gives it to Beal-Smith. and he's inside Scarlet Knights territory down to the 39.
I don't know if anyone was really sure about what was going on in that play. Sam Hartman, that's what they usually line up. You don't see him under center much, but that's usually quarterback sneak. They faked that a little bit, understanding that Rutgers was going to come off the edge. A little balk on that toss, but
if Jeff Monken of Army's watching that, I don't know that that's how you typically draw up the
so.
option. Hartman now will throw the deep ball, but nobody's down there. There's some miscommunication, and that is a dropped pick by Kassan Abraham.
You'll see that out at times out of this Wake Forest offense. They have a called coverage read patterns where they can coverage adjust. If you're in that bunch and you're seeing a cover 2 or you're seeing a cover 3, there are different options off that. It was just a different, basically different what Sam Hartman saw and different what his wide receivers saw. That's why that pass was so far away.
Hartman now throws to the sideline, and it's caught by Perry. AT gets inside the 30, down near the 27, and it is enough for a first down. Perry, the sophomore from Lake Worth, Florida, already with a single season touchdown record for Wake Forest at 14. Here's what Mark's talking about, stepping up in the pocket, and he'll be tackled at the 25-yard line. It's pickup of a few.
There are really only a few teams this year that have done a good job of stopping that, and it was Clemson and then Pittsburgh in that ACC championship game, and they put a lot of pressure on those 2 inside A-gaps, trying to get knocked back on the guard center area.
Neil Smith's got no place to run. Big tackle for loss as Cameron Stewart was in the backfield, and so was Lawrence Stevens.
Just a great job of setting the edge. And watch on the outside, getting up the field and setting that edge and understanding that I'm going to be wider than the widest. Good job stripping off there.
Loss of 4. Hartman now to the end zone. Perry's open, and he got it. Marked him out inside the 1, right near the goal line. 28-yard completion.
That's an NFL-type throw from Sam Hartman. Cross field. Perfect placement right in front of that, and there was a little bobble, but I do think A.T. Perry got his foot down. Now Wake's gonna go fast. There, yeah. Try not to have him take a look at it.
The previous plays under further review. The ruling on the field was that the receiver was short of the goal line.
We'll give them a chance to take a look at this upstairs. Mark just mentioned the bobble by Perry, but did he establish himself in bounds after he got control? They'll look at that. We'll be back in just a moment. Mark down at the 1-yard line was A.T. Perry. We're in a pro stadium, Mark. That was a pro catch, 2 feet down, and a touchdown as A.T. crossed the goal line for his 15th touchdown of the season, a school record, and Skiba makes it 14-7.
You mentioned it, pro-style catch. I mean, it was a fantastic job of locating the football, finding the ball in the air. I mean, you're basically doing a 360 spin backwards while catching the football. And you see this routinely be made on Sundays, but this is a very difficult catch. You see him focus and get those 2 feet down. And these wide receivers, they run really good routes, especially to the single receiver side. You're gonna see a lot of those 3-by-1 sets. They do a great job on the backside, and Sam Hartman finds these guys. You mentioned 15 times those 2 have connected for a touchdown.
More bowl action on New Year's Day. At noon Eastern on ESPN2, it's the Outback Bowl, Penn State against number 21 Arkansas. And then at 1 p.m. Eastern on ABC, it's the Verbose Citrus Bowl, the Mark Stoops Bowl, if you will, against his alma mater, number 15 Iowa, against his 22nd ranked Kentucky Wildcats. Mark, I know you did the Kentucky-Louisville game to finish the season. Stoops just 2 wins away from matching Bear Bryant for the most wins in Wildcats history.
And the Kentucky Wildcats, they looked really good versus Louisville. And Will Levis, phenomenal game, 4 rushing touchdowns on the ground. He was jumping over dudes. He was throwing the ball. He's a guy that if you don't know the name Will Levis right now, watch that game and you're going to know that name going forward.
This is Youngblood. He has 3 career kick returns for touchdowns. And And he gets it out to the 23-yard line. Let's go down to Alyssa.
Talk to the Rutgers coaching staff about Noah Vedral. They really give a lot of credit to the amount of time that he spent in the system playing games and then actually having an entire offseason this past offseason to go back and watch the tape. They said he has such a better understanding of what he's supposed to be doing out there, and he's also very easily coached. A big part of that is because one day he wants to be a coach himself. Coming from a football family, his grandfather coached at his high school, so he really understands the game. He's great with people. Coaches think he's going to be the complete package when he's done playing.
Well, listen, all 3 of his completions on the first drive were on 3rd downs to keep the Scarlet Knights on the field. 12-play drive that ended with this man, Aaron Young, scoring his 6th touchdown of the season. Picks up 6 yards there.
And they're going right back to the middle. This offensive line for Rutgers, they are pounding the middle of the field versus this little bit undersized defensive front. Not one guy on this defensive front for Wake Forest is over 300 pounds. So there's going to be some movement had, and great job by Aaron Young finding these lanes. Aaron Young, he's lined up all over the field. With Isaiah Peshko coming into this year and really taking over the lion's share of runs, he'll line up in slot. Aaron Young is a really good pass catcher out of the backfield as well.
On a 2nd and 4, Vedral is stopped by Bathroyd and Fox. So to be 3rd and 4. And Dave Clawson's offense certainly is playing at a championship level, but if his team's going to compete for championships in college football, it's the defensive side of the ball that needs to make a step.
They do. And you know, both these teams actually, very interestingly, have lost their defensive coordinators. So both head coaches are going to be calling defenses in this game. So you mentioned Dave Clawson. He's on the headset calling defenses right now for Wake Forest.
Not only did they lose their defensive coordinators, they lost both of them to Duke.
You better watch out for that Duke defense next year.
Mike Elko took both of them. Johnny Langen's at quarterback here, and he is in trouble. Ooh. But did somebody get his head where? Yes, they did.
Yeah, they almost got his entire head.
Suleiman Kamara and Miles Fox both in the backfield on that play. Instead of a punt, it's going to be a 1st down.
Really interesting, the fake zone read to Vedral. And that's the definition of a face mask. Lucky Lang didn't get hurt.
Face mask, defense number 11, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Well, they get Fox for it. I think he actually did it as well, but Kamara was the first one to do it. So it gives the Scarlet Knights a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, and that happens on defense when you're almost there and you reach. There's a lot of reaching results in face masks. Put those hands in tight, get your body to the ball carrier. But nonetheless, and it seems like every 3rd down that might be difficult for Rutgers, they're getting, whether penalties or big passes.
Out past the 44-yard line against Clawson's defense. Greg Schiano, as we told you in the open, said every player on his team was ready to come down here and play in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl just 9 days ago. Vedral shows off the legs. It's a 1st down run down to the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 yards on the last play of the 1st quarter. Noah Vedral and Rutgers hanging tough with Wake Forest through the 1st frame.
That's the end of the 1st quarter.
In the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, Scarlet Knights making their 1st trip to the game. Wake Forest played in the 1st Gator Bowl and won it, trying to win it for a 2nd time here in Jacksonville. Scarlet Knights knew they were in this game 8 days ago. They arrived down at Sawgrass Resort in Ponte Vedra at a welcome dinner at a philanthropy event where they gave 500 bags of non-perishable food with notes from players to local elementary schools, and then they went to Topgolf. Oh, no. Speaking of chopping wood, yeah, that's... Might need to go over to the stadium course and get a lesson. TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville, where the 17th ranked Demon Deacons lead the Scarlet Knights 14-7. Johnny Langen at quarterback after Vedral's big run into Wake Forest territory. And Langen will get a couple. We've seen 3 different quarterbacks in the first quarter for Rutgers, and it's worked.
Yeah, and you've seen multiple different guys who are labeled as quarterbacks on the field at the same time. And that's something that Wake Forest has to adjust to. You have to understand, okay, who's in the backfield, who motions out of the backfield, and does that equal run or pass?
What did we ask Greg Schiano before the game? Where are we going to see 21 line up today? He said everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere. And we've seen that so far. He plays tight end, he plays wide receiver, running back, quarterback. He's been a great addition to this team, transferring from Boston College after the 2018 season.
Well, that's got to hurt a little bit, right?
Yeah, well, you know.
Vedral throws backwards. This could be another quarterback. Washington throws it back over to Johnny Langen, and look at this. Langen tiptoeing the sidelines inside the 15, down near the 11. Wow.
Okay, all right, Greg Schiano, Sean Gleason, pulling out all the stops and the tricks. You see this backwards pass. I saw, okay, man, Seven's covered downfield. They threw all the way back. Watch this block by Vedral. Right there. Wow, that's a quarterback blocking Ryan Smenda, the middle linebacker. I mean, this is a great play, great design, and think of it, you only have 8 days to come up with what you're going to do, and they come up with that, and it works perfection.
They ask the quarterbacks to do everything in Piscataway. It's a pickup of 26 yards on the Washington completion to Langen. Now, more conservatively, they go to the ground. Aaron Young stood up by Jasir Taylor after a minimal gain. It'll be second down.
Yeah, you know, this run game, it's working. And what they're doing off of the run game with the different guys in the backfield, that's something that Wake Forest talked about, they're concerned about coming into the game, and now they got the big tight ends on the field.
Langen there at the bottom of your screen, 2 receivers to the top. Throw that way, but nice deflection made by Malik Mustafa to force the incompletion. Third down.
Mustafa's been a good addition to this team, transferring from Richmond. Second-year freshman out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's been a good backup. And Nick Anderson, another second-year freshman, is usually the starter at that strong safety position, but Mustafa's had a really good year as well. And on third down now, you got to get to the goal line. You got to, if you're Greg Schiano, you want to first of all be careful with the football. You're in scoring range, you can kick the field goal. See if you can get a shot down the bottom of your screen to your big tight end.
Is sacked back at the 11-yard line. It's Justine Davis that sacks him and forces the kicking team to come on the field.
And good coverage. See, up there's no one open. Good job of playing underneath coverage, and it was too late when Langen really got open. And this is a good job. You know, I don't mind taking a sack or a no yardage gain in that situation, because you know you're going to come away with 3. Just don't turn the ball over and force it into traffic.
Valentino Ambrosio from 28 yards away. Now 21 of 27 in his career. Well, Jasheen Davis forces the field goal try, and the Deeks are up 14-10 on a beautiful day in North Florida. This season, along with their contributions to the university's general scholarship funds for every field goal and extra point made, Allstate also donated to the American Red Cross to help with disaster relief efforts. Thank you, Allstate. Here in Jacksonville for the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, temperatures north of 80 degrees on the last day of the year. And it is humid on the field, where both offenses have shined so far, scoring each time they've had the football.
Also pretty humid up here in the booth too. Getting a little of that bead of sweat running down my back.
Fava kicks it to the 1, Morin from there. And he's met at the 15-yard line, and that's where Dave Clawson's offense will take over. He had Consecutive 3-9 records his first 2 seasons in Winston-Salem, but the ACC Coach of the Year has been sensational since then, going to 6 consecutive bowl trips and a winning record every year, Mark.
Yeah, and he's been consistent. And for a while there was a really good offense and a really bad defense. And then there was a really good defense and a really bad offense. And over the past 3 years, they've started to even that out. And they're getting a lot more guys staying around. And this is a team that develops their players. You see very few, if any, true freshmen playing for this team. They want to play 4th and 5th year guys against maybe a Clemson's freshman class.
There's a flag down as Christian Turner's got no place to run. And there are no true freshmen.
None.
That are playing, that have contributed at least the last couple of games for Wake Forest.
Offside. Defense number 97 lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Taverdov in the neutral zone. It's the 4th time Rutgers has done that. But back to what you're saying about Wake Forest, I think some nationally were surprised that Dave Clawson signed that contract extension, that he might go take a big-time job in college football at one of the 10 best historically great programs. But you look at what he's got returning here for Wake Forest next season, no reason to believe the Deacs could be back in the top 20 again. It's Beal Smith who gets loose, and he's past the 30. It's another Wake Forest first down.
That's actually Christian Turner, another one of their guys. You see him transfer in from Michigan, and you know, they needed another guy. Kenneth Walker III had gone to Michigan State. They got another guy in Christian Turner, and you see the wiggle. He's more that wiggle guy out of the backfield.
And look at him step up. Hartman makes the throw to the 38-yard line to Perry. It'll be a pickup of 8.
Just watch this. This is not stepping up in the pocket because there's pressure. That's stepping up in the pocket to create a better angle for your throw. And he's so good at coming over top on the throw, getting over the offensive lineman.
It's Turner right near a first down where Wesley Bailey greeted him. Let's see. It's enough to move the chains.
And you talk about Clawson and maybe not going to another school or anything. Like, this is the fit. Like, this is the perfect spot for Dave Clawson. You know, he's a very cerebral coach. He's big into the analytics, into the statistics, and you know, not saying anything about any other school, but like Wake Forest, you got to be pretty smart to get into these schools. You know, they don't have any of those guys where they decide, okay, he's good at football but bad at school. Everybody has to be good at school.
Hartman was hit as he throws, but Donald Stewart makes the catch. Inside the 35, down near the 32, a 27-yard completion.
Another really good move. You see he got on top of the defender and understanding, okay, if I have a defender directly behind me, I need to make a move away from where I'm going to go. Got the defender out of position.
Hartman steps up again, but overthrows Perry across the middle. It'll be second down. You know, what you were saying about Wake and how they develop players, Jim Grove did the same thing when you were playing against him. He didn't play true freshman either. Last time they were playing in this stadium, winning the ACC championship game 15 years ago. Similar sort of philosophy. Hartman underneath to Perry. Perry, first down throw, inside the 15, but he did step out. He stepped out before the hurdle.
I don't care. That was a sick hurdle regardless of where he went out of bounds. Man.
Rolling on the field was that the runner stepped out of bounds. First down.
That was awesome. Look at this. Let's see if he, I'm sure he does step out of bounds. Yep, there he is, stepping out of bounds a couple times. But it was all worth it just to see that.
Wow. What athletic ability by the sophomore from Lake Worth, Florida. Turner inside the 15 to the 14. You know, Perry only had 2 touchdowns in his career before this season, 15 this year with freaky athleticism.
That's pretty good form. I never was a hurdler, but I've studied how to do a hurdle just in case that ever presented its opportunity for me.
Ooh, Hartman's lucky there.
He is lucky.
Hassan Abraham stepping in front of Stewart. I'd love to see you do it. I bet you could back in the day.
Back in the day, I think the flexibility of my hip flexors would just be, they'd pop. They would be popping all over the field right now.
Hartman with the pocket collapsing. He goes down 2. That near the 20. Julius Turner, the senior from Meridian, Mississippi.
And one of the things about this Wake Forest offense is they do run a lot of plays, and they're going to move down the field very quickly. And when you have a bunch of different wide receivers that can rotate in, that's great. But watch A.T. Perry on the top of the screen. He just walked off the ball a little bit. I mean, he just had that big catch and run. He's getting a little bit tired. And so those routes were a little slow to develop, and that's why Sam Hartman had to pull the ball down and had to take a sack.
Look at that, second best. If he makes 4 today, Skiba, he could tie Brett Baer for 90% accuracy. And he makes at least the first one, but there's a flag down.
Might be another offsides on Rutgers.
It is 4th and 11.
Offside, defense number 50, lined up in the neutral zone. That penalty's declined. The result is a good field goal.
Penalty does not count, but that's the 5th time Rutgers has done that in the first half. Deeks up 7 in the second quarter.
Gator Bowl is brought to you by Visit Jacksonville. Plan your 2022 getaway to Jax at visitjacksonville.com.
That's a good pump right there. Harper Chocolate Lab on the beach enjoying this 80-degree weather here in Jacksonville today. Demon Deacons thought they were getting the Texas A&M Aggies, 2 top 25 teams. Instead, they get the Scarlet Knights, who are giving them a game, 17-10, with 8:21 to go in the second quarter. We've seen 7 teams withdraw, 5 games canceled, 2 games with their matchups that were changed in this bowl season. We thought that was over after 2020. It's not, hers, as we go into 2022.
Yeah, and if you thought going into bowl season that this might happen, you'd have been correct. Greg Schiano was one of those guys. He had his team continue to practice even after the last game of the season on the off chance they could possibly get in the game. And look at them here and what they're doing right now against Wake Forest.
Joshua Youngblood stays on his feet past the 30 up to the 31-yard line. Those games that have been impacted so far started in Honolulu. A lot of ACC teams, 3 in fact, that were impacted. Aggies impacted here. UCLA at the last moment. You hated that for the Wolfpack. They were out there in San Diego ready to go. Boise State couldn't play in Arizona, so Central Michigan moved to the Sun Bowl instead to play Washington State today. Meanwhile here, teams have scored on all 5 drives combined. We've seen a different quarterback just about every single play. Herzlich always has his head on a swivel. Here's Evan Simon at quarterback, running for his life and throwing it into the Wake Forest bench. Rondo Bothroyd was in the backfield.
Yeah, again, there's Evan Simon. You talked about him. He had to come in the Maryland game in the fourth quarter. All he did was lead 2 touchdown drives. It wasn't enough to have them come back from the deficit, but he's a capable guy. And now, again, they're bringing in.
And there he goes.
Bringing in more dudes. and you see the 2 actual passers pretty much standing on the sidelines. And you get number 9 now, Gavin Wimsett, who's calling the plays.
Federal starts and has continued to play. Wimsett's come in already. It's his 2nd time. Simon's played. Langen's lined up at quarterback. Isaiah Washington has thrown a pass so far. All sorts of different shifts for Schiano on offense. Wimsett, a one-on-one ball to the sideline, is incomplete. No flag thrown as Amir Robinson was the intended target.
Amir Robinson, 6'2", 185-pound true freshman out of New Jersey. This whole team, this whole Rutgers team, I mean, I'd say 85% of the team is from New Jersey. They got a lot of Jersey pride wearing red.
3 different quarterbacks on 3 different plays, and it's Mr. Third Down, Noah Vedral, who's back out there now.
How did Simon get that headset on so fast? He got strapped up, ready to call some plays.
Vedral with time, and he does it again. Out to Youngblood past the 45.
What a throw by Noah Vedral right over the top of number 24, Gavin Holmes. You see him, Holmes is right there. But that ball went up and over. That's a drill that quarterbacks are you do every single day in practice, and that's not gonna affect that man. Noah Vedral, he can take worse hits than that.
Takes the lip from Bothroyd and with another completion and goes to the bench, and Wimsett comes in there with Aaron Young standing next to him. Fakes to Young, drifts back, lobs it down there, but incomplete in the neighborhood of Robinson. Robinson covered up on the play by J.J. Roberts.
Yeah, and both these defenses, they're going to need to be talking, and the offenses as well. And the perimeters, these officials are letting a lot of the banging go downfield. They're getting a little bit handsy and grabby, and they're not calling it. I mean, as a former defender, I like that, but you got to know how to play the different ways officials are going to call the game. Good job being physical by J.J. Roberts on that last play, disrupting the route.
Vedral, all 4 of his completions on 3rd down. This is 2nd and 10. Takes off and takes a huge hit after a pickup of 8. Mustafa with the lick.
I like that. Malik Mustafa with the lick. Oh, and he's not feeling good, though.
No, he took the brunt of that hit.
It did look like he got excited when he came up. I wonder where he got hurt, but that was a big one.
He's holding his knee, the freshman from Weddington High School in Charlotte, North Carolina, down on the field after leveling Vedral there.
Welcome back to the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl here in Jacksonville, Florida. You see this injury by Mustafa. It's really difficult to tell. He was holding his knee after this play. He did walk off on his own volition, and it was really difficult as we tried to look at it whether there was any injury that occurred on the hit or was it after, but hopefully he's all right and comes back.
It is a 3rd down for Rutgers, 3rd and 3 at the Wake Forest 47. Scarlet Knights 4 of 5 on this down so far today. Vedral throws to Langen in an open field tackle. They don't mark him down. 1st down to the 42-yard line. Langen never had his knee on the ground as Jasir Taylor made the tackle.
This dude used to be a quarterback. Watch how he takes this hit, and I don't think any part of his body went down. You see that left elbow resting on the defender. They're going to take a look at it, but good awareness by Langen to get up and keep turning his feet.
The previous play is under further review. Rolling on the field was ruled not down.
You see him catch the ball here. Good job tackling, but he just kept his feet alive. And you know, if the wrist touches or the elbow touches, that's going to be down. But ball can touch the ground, hand can touch the ground. Let's see, that right elbow
the right elbow
down. Yeah, and that the ruling on the field is that he was not down. So it's very difficult from that angle to see if the elbow comes down. This will probably give us a good look. And that you can't tell either. And you're assuming that that's down. And it'll be up to the officials whether they can definitively say that that's down. I mean, physics determines that he's down, right?
I would say that all of us would assume he's down, but I don't know that that's enough. This might be enough.
There we go.
This might be the angle.
So,
yeah, right there.
It's so you see that left hand of the defender that was kind of bent back behind him? Man, this is going to be an interesting call. What'd you guess? I'm guessing down.
I am too. With that last angle we just saw, that the last moment it looked like that right elbow. We keep going and then we freeze it right.
Yeah, but look at that
there.
Yeah, you're right, down. You see how that left hand is kind of awkward, of the defenders awkwardly under that right elbow, but I do think the tip of the elbow is touching that white. So yeah, I think he's down.
If so, it'll be 4th down for Rutgers back at the 50-yard line. For the moment, it's a 1st and 10 at the Wake Forest 42. regardless, it gives you an idea of just how talented Johnny Langan is. Trying to keep himself alive on that third down play.
Phenomenal effort either way, you're right.
12 catches going into the season for 3 touchdowns, completed 4 passes, 1 for a touchdown.
And if he is down, it might give us a chance to see the second-team All-American, Adam Korsak, the punter for Rutgers. The dude is absolutely money when he comes to pinning guys down inside the 10.
He's had one of the most remarkable seasons. You could argue maybe the most. I mean, they're the best net punting average in college football history this year at 45.3, and he has no touchbacks on the season.
Yeah, and it's been 122 consecutive touchbackless punts.
After further review, the ball carrier's elbow was down at the 50-yard line. It'll be 4th down.
So it is a 4th down. Could be the first punting situation of the game for either team. And here comes the senior from Melbourne. Not only is he sensational on the field, it took an incredible effort to get here today, Alyssa.
That was one of the first things that the coaching staff tried to figure out as soon as they knew they were going to play in the Gator Bowl was, can we get Korsak back? He's one of the MVPs of this team. He had literally just landed in Melbourne, Australia, flipped his phone off of airplane mode. Phone started blowing up saying, we're going to the Gator Bowl. Quarantined, passed a couple of negative COVID tests, turned right around, flew right back to LA and actually beat the team to Jacksonville. And the joke kind of going around the Rutgers program as soon as he started tweeting photos that he was boots on the ground in Jacksonville was, it's for real, we can play now, Korsak's there. And you just saw a great example of why they love him with his ability to pin it right in front inside the 10.
Unreal, perfect punt, caught at the 5-yard line. That's in his career. But as Mark just told you, that's now 123 in a row without a touchback, 0 on the season. Could be playing in this stadium again in the future at the next level.
It's like he needs his foot for a pass on that.
Beal Smith is tackled in the backfield. And they're going to say he's short of the 1. Desmond Igbonason with the tackle.
Just came right through. You see him lined up deep, and from that safety position just shot the gap. Great timing.
Loss of 3 on the play, and now thrown out past the 10, incomplete to Keyshawn Williams. Good coverage by Shaquan Loyal. Now it's 3rd and long.
And you see the weapon, right? We talk about punters, how they can affect the game. Korsak pinned him at the 6-yard line. Now a loss of yards played. Now they're playing from the 2-yard line on 3rd and really long.
Hartman from the middle of his end zone's in trouble, drifts back and throws over the head of his intended receiver, Donald Stewart. Abraham in coverage, and Wake Forest will punt for the first time today.
How about that? First couple drives down the field, down the field, down the field, and now it's turned into a field position game. Great. That's awesome. You cheered on the punter. Guys are always kind of off on the side on their own, on the sidelines, but wearing the best number in all of college football at 94.
Oh, there you go.
Yep.
I like that. Typically, you wouldn't have a punter that is that big of a weapon that can change the game. It is more a punts in the shadow of the back goal line. Ball will go back towards midfield, and Rutgers will get it with great field position at their own 46-yard line. It is a 52-yard punt, but the 44-yard punt by Adam Korsak, who literally traveled the globe to be at the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl today, gives the Scarlet Knights the ball back, down 7. A reminder that the bowls don't end with New Year's Day. It's the TaxAct Texas Bowl from Houston with LSU taking on Kansas State. It's Tuesday at 9 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Rough start for the Southeastern Conference in the bowl season. Just 1-5. ACC struggling too, 1-4. The Big Ten undefeated going into this game today. The Scarlet Knights representing them down the touchdown. Vedral runs up to the 49 where he's tackled by Travion Red. Here is the Progressive Bowl Challenge Cup, as we mentioned. How about the start by the Big Ten and the American Conference?
Yeah, looking good so far, but you mentioned the SEC, ACC down the bottom. SEC dominated the Bowl Challenge Cup last year, and they got a long way to go. I don't even know if they got a possibility of getting above even.
They have 12 bowl games in all, so they would have to win their remaining 6 games to finish with a winning record. We're supposed to have 13, but of course Texas A&M unable to play today. So in step the Scarlet Knights, and it's Langen making the catch from Vedral, dancing around and eluding tacklers again inside the 35.
Great job. Again, you talk about Sam Hartman stepping up in the pocket. This one, look at Vedral. Look at the protection that he has up front there. I mean, that's a throwing, I don't know, not window. That's a wide open double door. And he steps up and does a great job of finding his all-purpose Mr. Everything Langen in the flat. It's been impressive. It's been impressive watching what Sean Gleason, the offensive coordinator for Rutgers, has done in terms of prepping and game planning this Wake Forest team.
18-yard completion there, and after Langen makes the catch, he lines up at quarterback on this play. And will throw. Low ball, but caught by Washington, who threw it to him earlier in the game. And he's inside the 25 for 11. More on Washington. Let's go to Alyssa.
Guys, Isaiah Washington's one of those local kids really excited about playing in front of friends and family here in Jacksonville. Coaches said he's a phenomenal person, an amazing kid, one of our bigger sized receivers as well. Coach Schiano said they're trying to get better at being bigger at the receiver position. He also said he makes Odell Beckham type catches in practice. He's been working really hard to earn his starting role. Now being able to start in his hometown, pretty special.
Went to Trinity Christian High School here in town. Aaron Young had the touchdown run early in the game. He gets inside the 20 down to the 16, and so Washington in today to be the big receiver instead of Bo Melton, and Young at running back replacing the starter Isaiah Pacheco. Both of those guys getting ready for the next level, and both have been terrific so far.
They really have, and every player on this Rutgers offense understands the situation. Look, a lot of our big play guys are not here. So let's play some small ball and let's be really efficient at doing that. And that's what you're seeing, getting Langen involved, the runs by Vedral, and then Aaron Young on those gap scheme runs getting vertical.
Vedral fakes it to Young, keeps it. First down to the 12.
And I mentioned gap scheme runs. That's what they have featured early in this game. Rutgers is going to pull their big offensive linemen around, really test the eyes of Wake Forest defense and run right up the middle. 85 to 90% of their running yardage have been between the tackles. And that's, I think, right on par with what Greg Schiano wants. His personality is let's drive it right down the field on the ground.
72 rushing yards for the Scarlet Knights in the first half, near the 2-minute mark. Now Young, running laterally, breaking tackles, might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. Ryan Smenda missed the initial tackle. Timeout called with 1:58 left in the half.
Timeout. Wake Forest, their first of the half. 30-second timeout.
A reminder that coming up, we will have the Smile Direct Club halftime report. Cotton Bowl, Orange Bowl, we'll talk about that. Big Ten dominating the bowl season. Kevin Nagandi, Booger McFarland, and Joey Galloway will have that for you. Are you ready to be put on the spot? Who do you have?
Go ahead. Oh, okay. So I have Alabama in that Cincy matchup. I really like what Bryce Young's been doing all year. Jameson Williams, the wide receiver, has been good. But the real question is, has Bama fixed their O-line stuff? There have been times where they've given up some pressure, and Cincinnati, they are known for sending pressure from all over the place. So I do have Alabama, and then I got Georgia. So I'm gonna see a rematch of that SEC championship in the national championship.
Unreal what the Crimson Tide has done in the playoffs, in Cincinnati representing the group of 5 in the playoff for the first time. A 2nd and 10 for the Scarlet Knights at the 12. Vedral throws underneath, and it's caught. To the 7-yard line goes Shameen Jones, where Red makes the tackle, and it's another Wake Forest timeout.
Wake Forest, their 2nd of the half, 30 seconds in length.
I didn't know which way you were going to go for that second game with the Dogs and the Wolverines, both so physical at the line of scrimmage. That's going to be some old school football tonight.
Yeah, and usually you look at Michigan defensively, they are so good. And I like siding with the good defenses. However, Georgia's better, right? They're the better defense. And offensively, I think what they've done, they've really used Stetson Bennett as a game manager and allowed him to feel comfortable with the people around him. Look for Brock Bowers to have a really good game. He's had 11 touchdowns on the year. I expect him to get at least 1 in that game. Take that Florida Turnpike all the way down from here to South Florida in Miami Gardens tonight. Should be a terrific matchup. Big play here. The 3rd down. They score here before going into half. Vedral brings Young next to him. He throws to the end zone, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Gavin Holmes. What a play, and what a job
Rolling on
breaking on the
field
football.
is an interception.
Oh, I don't know if he was so sure in his own call. Trailed off a little bit at the end there, but that was a great interception. And I thought, Vedral, great job working the pocket. And you see cutting in front, you're going to put a lot of that on Joshua Youngblood, the wide receiver, for not coming back to the football. It's a good, well-thrown football. 83 just got to come and help his quarterback out. But good play by Wake Forest, and they have forced a ton of turnovers this year. 1st in the ACC, 4th in the country. That's their 28th turnovers that this Wake Forest defense has gained. And when Rutgers loses the turnover battle, they lose the game. They're 5-0 when they win it, or when they don't lose it, I should say, and they're 0-7 when they lose it. Hartman again in his end zone. Better be careful here. And he throws out of it over the head of the cornerback there, Kassan Abraham. There is a flag down. Needs to be on.
Pass interference, defense number 5. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
That's why Abraham was the only one near the football. Yeah, when Sam Hartman exploded in the back of the end zone, he just got hit and was sent all the way into the warning track. He's up all right. I think Drew Singleton coming in. Watch number 11. Bam! Man, he wound up in that red part in the back, but one of the toughest quarterbacks to see around, Sam Hartman. Big penalty on the Scarlet Knights. Hartman throws over the head of Morin. Robert Longerbeam there with him. 2nd down. You mentioned earlier the officials allowing some physicality on the outside with these receivers. There was definitely some contacts by Longerbeam on the end of that play, but it's just something you got to know as a wide receiver. Fight through it. Really get those penalties called. To the ground with Ellison. It is a 1st down run by the redshirt freshman. Out past the 30. Nice patience finding the hole. And you see, watch him get up in the line of scrimmage and then decide. That's what this offense is all about. Let me get up there, let someone peek out of their gap, and then I decide and I fly. Hartman gets it to Perry, but Perry slipped in his break and wasn't able to be ready for the catch. 2nd down. That's one they'd like to have back. Well, there have been drops for this team this year. That's the 24th drop on the year for this offense. See Hartman's numbers. He was 10 for 10 to start the game. Just one of his last 9 now. Gets this one out, and it's an easy catch by Perry. Just short of the 1st down, though. 3rd down with 1:14 left. And Wake Forest does have 1 timeout.
The most important thing right now is to obviously pick up that 1 yard to keep this drive going. You have to understand how much time is on the clock, and this is a very fast-paced offense regardless. So they can get plays in and out quickly. So that clock's not too much of a factor right now.
Rutgers changing personnel at the last second. Ellison, first down, Wake.
Yeah, he just got it. Wake Forest already subbing guys on and off the field. They're so good at this 2-minute offense.
Hartman, quick throw, and it's caught inside the 35, down to the 30, where Whitehart is wrestled down. Demon Deacons in field goal range.
14th catch on the season. This is a big guy. That's a good tackle attempt by Avery Young, but the big man gets his shoulder down low. It's tough to tackle him. You see Avery Young down on the ground right now.
His younger brother Aaron with the touchdown run to start the game today. It's the best tackler Rutgers has, with Olakunle Fatukasi out of the game today.
It's a form tackle. You always worry about collarbone in that situation where you're directly contacting another player's shoulder, and we'll see. Let's hope it's not anything too serious, but has upper body written all over it. And this is another part of this offense is those tight ends. Usually they're used as blockers, but Blake Whitehart is a red zone threat, 3 touchdowns on the year, and that's kind of that next step of this offense. If they can get some of these tight ends to really show up in the pass game next year, you can really hit from anywhere.
Think of how great Wake has been all season offensively, with one of the best scoring teams in the nation, 5th and 41.2 points per game. They lost who was determined to be the top running back in college football in 2021 in Kenneth Walker to Michigan State.
Yep, and it was a big loss, and I don't know if they realized how big of a loss it was at the time. Obviously we saw him play very well for the Demon Deacons, but this offense is so much about spreading the wealth that he didn't have those 30 carries a game, and you saw what he could do effectively at Michigan State this year when he was put in that position.
Visiting with Dave Clawson yesterday, he thinks the 3 best divisions in all of college football are the ACC Atlantic, the SEC West, and the Big Ten East. Walker leaving the Atlantic for the Big Ten West this year. Rutgers, of course, also playing in that division. Hartman throws to the sideline. Perry falls down, but they're going to say that Abraham was the reason why.
I don't know if that's the right call. Looked like A.T. Perry slipped. This field, we were down there before the game, a little bit slick.
Pass interference, defense number 5. Ball would be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
So yeah, well, he did grab him around his back, so that would be a problem. You can't do that too often. So I take that back. Good call, and brings up first down.
Gives Wake the ball at the Rutgers 20 with 50 seconds left. Wake does have 1 timeout. Rutgers gets the ball to start the second half.
False start. Offense number 9. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That is Perry called for it, and a mock cheer from the Scarlet Knights fans.
Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 50 seconds. Thank you.
See a little movement. Called by the officials.
Only the 2nd flag on Wake today, 6 for Rutgers so far. Hartman over the head, incomplete. Nice job at the last second by Max Melton to force the incompletion. 2nd and 15.
Are you kidding me, Max Melton? This could not have been played any better. He sees Stewart's eyes go up to the football. He turns his head. He gets that right hand in the pocket where he was about to catch it and knocks the ball away. I mean, that's fantastic. And his brother, Bo Melton.
I was going to say, yeah, Bo not playing today, so I'm sure they've been going at each other for years working on that.
How about game 1 of the season? Bo Melton and Max Melton both had a touchdown. That's crazy.
Hartman too strong for Stewart.
That was way up 3rd down. And Wake Forest has been phenomenal in the red zone this season, scoring touchdowns on 69.4% of their drives. It's 19th in the country. And on the other hand, Rutgers' defense has been phenomenal as well. 20th ranked red zone defense. You see the cushion at the top.
Hartman goes to the bottom to Morin, lets him do something with it, and he does. First down, Wake Forest, right near it at the 10. Let's see, they're going to give him the mark. 1st and goal.
Great call by Wake Forest on this play. Rutgers was sitting back, getting ready for the deep ball, and good blocks on the outside by the wide receivers.
The previous play is under further review. Ruling on the field was that the line to gain was met.
In real time, it looked like he got the 10-yard line, which is what he needed.
Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 30 seconds. Thank you.
How about the story that Warren Ruggiero, the offensive coordinator, told you, Hers, about Taylor Morin learning how to play the slot in a week?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. They lined him up on the outside most of the year last year. And then they said, look, this guy's super smart. We need some guys playing in the slot. Taylor Morin adjusted. He's been a really big contributor this year, and he needs to get right to that 10-yard line, and that's going to be short. He's going to be about a half a yard short from where that knee touched down. See, right there, the ball has clearly not gotten to that 10-yard line. So on that initial look, now Warren Ruggiero and Dave Clawson are going to have a discussion, and you see Nick Skiba walking out in the middle of the field, getting ready for a field goal, and if that's the case, that would be a big red zone stop by this Rutgers defense.
Credit to Efine Maijay with that tackle there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Having a defensive tackle track down a wide receiver on a wide receiver screenplay, that's Greg Schiano, defensive guy. That's one that they'll show over and over again in the meeting room. That's a fantastic play.
Scarlet Knights never expected to be there. You got to give them credit for how tough they're hanging with the heavily favored Demon Deacons in this first half.
And I think probably the correction is they expected to be there. I don't know if anybody else in this stadium expected them to be right there, but you got to believe that they had that belief. And remember how many times the Rutgers defensive line has jumped off sides or moved early in this game. They got to be aware of this hard count, whether it's a field goal or an offensive formation, because you move a little early right here, 1st down inside the 10.
It's just crazy to think of all the guys that got blown out against Maryland for Rutgers, thinking their collegiate careers had ended, like a Trey Avery.
Yeah.
And then now they get to play another football game today. Never expected that.
Well, we mentioned Drew Singleton earlier. We had that big hit in the back of the end zone, and he was already off training for the NFL Combine. And a couple of these guys on Rutgers' team had to get exemptions to be able to play in this game, because obviously, you sign with an agent or they pay for whatever. Now, are you eligible to play? And NCAA gave them that eligibility. So, I mean, you're right. It's crazy. Think about 9 days ago, these guys were like, well, my college football is over, and now you get one more chance.
So if Wake was marked short, they would have to burn their last time out, you would think. Or do you take the runoff? I think that's what they're trying to determine right now.
Yeah, I think at this point right now, with the time left on the clock being 30 seconds, you should be able to get your field goal team out there.
After further review, The runner was down at the 11-yard line. It'll be 4th down and 1. The clock was running. Correction, the clock was stopped. It's going back to a running clock. That incurs a 10-second runoff. Wake Forest has declined the 10-second runoff. We'll run it from 36 seconds down to 26 seconds.
One heck of an explanation there.
And the offense is staying on the field.
And you got to be ready for a hard count. You just stay in your position, get ready for a hard count, and then react to the football. You know, Sam Hartman might just get up there and hard count, call timeout, bring Skiba on the field.
See the 4th down numbers for Wake this year. And the clock running under 20 seconds now. Hartman lets it run all the way down under 10. And then just calls timeout with 2 seconds left. That's strange to line up in that position. I guess
Wake Forest has used their last timeout of the half, 30 seconds in length.
I guess the thinking, Mark, is to try to draw Rutgers off sides during that, but they didn't even go with a hard count.
That's the type of coach Dave Clawson is. If there's an opportunity to let another person make a mistake, you give them that opportunity. Rutgers didn't make the mistake, and now you bring out Nick Skiba. But, like, you know, what good would it do with a timeout left in your pocket at the end of the game, at the end of the half? It would do no good.
Skiba 3 more field goals in a row to tie Bears' all-time NCAA mark of 90%. Made one earlier, this from 29.
Timeout. Rutgers, 30 seconds in length.
Greg Schiano is not ready to go to the locker room. Later today, it's wall-to-wall coverage of the CFP semis from both Texas and Florida. It's the College Football Playoff Semifinals Megacast. The ESPN family of networks will have plenty of options for you with the main telecast, Skycast, and others. And streaming live on the ESPN app, you can get local team radio broadcast there. With the Megacast, you will not miss a thing. Look at all those options, the hometown radio calls.
That's awesome. I love using my Apple TV and using the ESPN app and getting like the 4-box with all the different looks.
Just switch around.
Muting one, going to the other, checking out the Skycast. I'll tell you what, there
used to have the film room. Dave Clawson was great at that when he was doing the semifinals a few years ago. They're going to say officially a 29-yard attempt now for Skiba.
Timeout. Rutgers.
See,
seconds.
So
30-second timeout.
Dave Clawson and Greg Schiano, they go way back, like 30 years back, and they're close friends. And we talked about Dave Clawson, just another opportunity for Schiano to make a mistake. Well, this is now another opportunity for Clawson's team to make a mistake.
Schiano wants to stay in Jacksonville as long as possible.
It's cold back up there in New Jersey.
Mentioned the friendship, just a year apart in age, and both have a tremendous amount of respect for each other, have been friends for over 30 years and spent time with each other's families. And here comes another one.
So good.
He lets him go, and Skiba knocks it in from 29 yards, and the score is 20-10. Demon Deacons on top of Rutgers at halftime here in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. Rutgers will receive the second half kickoff. Sam Hartman, 14 of 24, 200 yards passing and 2 touchdowns in that first half, Mark.
Yeah, an impressive offensive output by Rutgers as well. A lot on the ground, a lot up the middle. And then they sprinkled in the passes and the run after catch. And, you know, a 10-point game right now. Rutgers would have loved to held it to 7, but I think they'll live with 10 points going into half.
4 different players lined up at quarterback for Rutgers in the first half. 3 different players completed a pass. Greg Schiano and the Scarlet Knights throwing the kitchen sink at the Deeks in the first half, and Alyssa's with Coach Clawson.
Coach, how will you continue to generate offensive momentum in the second half?
Well, we just got to keep drives alive. The big thing for us, we got to make first downs. And, you know, we settled for 2 field goals. We came up a little short there and had a great opportunity early we didn't capitalize on.
Rutgers giving you a lot of different looks. How would you evaluate your defense so far?
Well, you know, we held them to 10 points, but we're not getting off the field on third down. We allowed a lot of third down conversions, penalty, and a lot of third and longs. And we got to do a better job of rushing the passer and covering them.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
20-10, Dave Clawson's team on top. Wake Forest leading Rutgers here in beautiful Jacksonville. Coming up after the break, stay tuned for the Smile Direct Club halftime report on ESPN.
Welcome back to Capital One Bowl Mania.
At the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania. Beautiful day on the river here in Jacksonville with the ocean not far away. Take a dip as the Deacs are up 10.
Look at that guy in the pool.
For the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. SPF 50 on those legs. Deacs trying to match their best win total in school history. Take a look at the first half highlights. Wake Forest looked good on offense as they have all season.
Yeah, they kept moving the ball down the field, and a lot of it was through the arm of Sam Hartman. And A.T. Perry had some big catches down the sideline. Rutgers, on the other hand, did it on the ground. Whether it was that man right there, Johnny Langan, or Noah Vedral, the quarterback, Aaron Young, the running back getting into the end zone. And really the difference in the half so far is this turnover. Rutgers getting ready to score before the end of the half, and great interception by Holmes on that last play.
PlayStation first half stats. Pretty even game, but that turnover you just referenced, hers, big difference in why the Deacs are up 10. Rutgers does get the football to start the second half as Ivan Mora kick it deep to Josh Youngblood. And Youngblood will take it from the 5. And it'll be stopped about the 24-yard line. Great to be here with Mark Herzlich and Alyssa Lang. I'm Taylor Zarzer. We have those semifinals coming up, but we have this half before that, and it's been a good football game so far.
It has been, and Greg Schiano's Rutgers team, they've come out looking really good and really solid. Their game plan with running the ball directly at Wake Forest has worked well. Let's see if Wake Forest defense bows up a little bit, and let's see if they can get those big passes going downfield at all.
Rutgers, of course, was not supposed to be here. Texas A&M was going to be the team that played in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, but due to COVID issues, they're out of the game. Rutgers in the game, and they've tried 4 different quarterbacks. Gavin wins it, hands it to Aaron Young, and Young will not get much as Jasir Taylor makes the tackle down to Alyssa.
As I caught up with Coach Schiano coming out of half, I asked him what the emphasis was at halftime. He said we're passing the ball well, but we have to stop jumping off sides. He also mentioned that red zone turnover. He said it killed us. We know what the turnover margin looks like for Rutgers. Certainly throughout the season, when they don't turn the ball over, it goes really well for them. I also asked him about all the substitutions. They talked about the shortened week, knowing they didn't have a ton of time to prepare for this bowl, knowing that a lot of guys would have to play because it is warm out here and they haven't had that typical bowl preparation. He said, yeah, guys are feeling it. We're chasing it, but they're fighting.
Well, Alyssa, he's out a bunch of bodies, as you referenced. Isaiah Pacheco didn't make the trip today at running back. This is the backup running back, Aaron Young, who scored their only touchdown in the first possession of the game. Bo Melton, their top receiver, not playing today. Eric Cruikshank not playing either. Last thing they need to do is lose more bodies.
Yeah, and you see that right knee bend inward as Jasir Taylor does a great job of setting the edge, dipping and coming through for that tackle. That's not a good scene for Aaron Young, who's been really good today. And you mentioned Isaiah Pacheco, their leading running back, not playing today. Neither is Kyle Monungai, who's their second leading rusher. And with Aaron Young in obvious pain, it's going to be up to Jameer Wright-Collins out of Patterson, New Jersey, who's had some carries this year, averages actually 7.2 yards per carry, which leads the team, but just not a lot of opportunities.
And of course, they may ask Johnny Langan to do even more now.
Yep.
The quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, running back, catch-all for the Scarlet Knights. Those are all the guys that played quarterback in the first half. They even asked receiver Isaiah Washington to throw a pass on a trick play.
And a pretty good pass at that. Threw it all across field. And I think that's one of the impressive things of what Greg Schiano's done in his second stint here at Rutgers is bringing guys back in through the transfer portal and also adjusting to the guys that were already here. You look at just the tight ends who have transferred in. All of them came in when Greg Schiano took over this job, and that tight end position has been very important to this run game. And you see right now, you see number 8 in the backfield. That was the aforementioned Jameer Wright Collins. He's another one of those guys who can really be a breakout star in the upcoming years for this Rutgers team.
Wins it with a flag down, will throw a deep ball into double coverage, and it is intercepted by Zion Keith.
And that's going to stand. That was a holding call in the backfield on Rutgers.
Holding. Offense number 59. That penalty's declined. Result of the play is interception. First down.
So Zion Keith gets the mistake from Wimsett.
Yeah, and watch Rondell Bothroyd, number 40. He's on that inside loop, and the center just not able to get enough on him. You see that grab, good call. And if the quarterback, Gavin Wimsett, saw that penalty, the smartest thing to do is just throw it out of bounds. Nothing good was going to come out of that throw, but opportunistic Wake Forest defense come up with another turnover on the year.
It actually hit Travion Redd, and off the carom, Keith got his second career interception. Now it's Christian Beal-Smith. No place to go on the outside. Mayan Ohanatu and Kassan Abraham combine on the tackle. Abraham loses his helmet, has to go off for a play. And Beal-Smith comes up lame there. And 9 with the sunshine shining down, and down goes Hartman as Mohamed Toure makes the sack.
Look at Toure coming on this loop stunt. That's a, what do you call it, tech stunt. You get a guy going out, coming in. Great job getting the pressure.
Hartman throws from a muddy pocket again and over the head of Perry. Fourth down. So Scarlet Knights dodge a bullet after the interception. Defense comes on and forces a 3-and-out.
Just a great stand by Rutgers defense. You know, after that first turnover in the first half, they held Wake Forest to 3 points, and now they're forcing Wake Forest to punt, and that's complimentary football. If your offense makes a mistake, stand up defensively, try to get the ball back. Impressive job playing behind Wake Forest's line of scrimmage on that last series.
Ivan Mora, second punt of the day. First one went for 52 yards. That's another terrific punt. Youngblood with the fair catch back at his 23-yard line, a 47-yarder. Scarlet Knights down 10 with the football in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. Just over a couple hours away from watching the Heisman winner Bryce Young and the Crimson Tide square off against the Cincinnati Bearcats in Arlington. Crazy numbers, over 4,300 yards passing, 43 touchdowns on the season. Sensational young man that will represent that award so well for the rest of his life. Here, Giovanni Haskins makes the catch from Johnny Langen, and he gets up near the 35-yard line. We haven't even seen Noah Vedral yet in the second half. We've seen other guys throw in at quarterback.
Yeah, look at that little sidearm. Manipulating arm angle. That was just a little wrist fling in there. Good job working it around the defender. And I'll tell you what, just when you think you got Johnny Langen figured out, he's got another little trick up his sleeve.
There's Vedral. Surprisingly didn't start the second half, and Gavin Wimsett threw the interception.
Yeah, and I'm not a huge fan of that. You know, I want Noah Vedral throwing the ball again right away after he threw that pick. in the red zone before and get his confidence back. So far, he hasn't thrown pass since then.
Handoff to Langen with Aaron Young out. Can't get the corner as Smenda makes the tackle.
And they've started running the ball towards the outside. And really in the second half, that's where they have directed the run game. So good up the middle in the first half. And I'm not exactly sure why they've changed that up. And Wake Forest been good on the edges. This is a fast Wake Forest defense, so the perimeter run game usually isn't going to be there.
Langen to the sideline on a 2nd and 12. This is a little quick throw to Christian Dremel.
Man.
And he gets up near the 37, where Luke Masterson, for 6 years, has been all over the football field.
Yeah, and Luke Masterson, the linebacker, Nick Anderson, his protege at safety. Luke Masterson was a safety for his entire career. This year, he put on 10, 15 pounds, moved down to linebacker, but part of his work last year was the tutelage of Nick Anderson, who had a breakout performance. His first game, he had 9 tackles versus Virginia. His second game ever, had 3 interceptions versus Virginia Tech, and people are like, wow, who's this walk-on with number 45 on?
Those Deeks trying to get off the field on a 3rd and 8. Federal's got time, though. Can't get out of there. Shoestring tackle by Dion Bergen. He gets the sack.
Bergen. Late job getting to the quarterback, but he did a really good job of continuing his pursuit. You see him right there in the middle, and he really gets stalemated at the beginning. It's a good job double teaming him, but he just kept working, and poor eyes by Nick Crimmin, number 66, just letting him go, and good job capitalizing, and now it went 3 and out to 3 and out.
Adam Korsak, terrific at punting the defense inside their 20, as the whole field to work with this time, and he kicks it to the Wake Forest 32-yard line. Demon Deacons trying to match their best win total ever.
The TaxSlayer Gator Bowl is brought to you by Florida's enchanted Amelia Island. Come make memories.
Beautiful day in Jacksonville. The last time that Wake Forest was here, they won the Atlantic Coast Conference, capturing their 11th victory of the season. Jim Grobe and those Deeks finished the season 11-3. They would lose in the Orange Bowl to Louisville. If Wake Forest wins today, they match that team with the exact same record. And chances are, Mark, they would have a better final ranking in the polls than that team did. So it'd be the best ranking in school history.
Yeah, you're right. And so some of those star-studded lineup with Aaron Curry on that team. Ended up being one of his top draft picks, first-rounder, and Riley Skinner, who at the time career leader in passing yards for Wake Forest.
Offside. Defense number 91 into the neutral zone, causing the offense to react. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You mentioned Riley Skinner, so terrific 15 years ago. Sam Hartman has had the best season any quarterback's ever had. Statistically, he needs to get that offense going. 3 drives, they were cruising. Last 3, not so much, as Justice Ellison gets up near the 45-yard line and a first down.
Good job by Ellison, just making something out of nothing. Been impressed with this Rutgers defensive front. Every single play, there's at least one offensive lineman being knocked backwards into the backfield.
Hartman's under trouble, the ball's out. And back on it near the 30 after Desmond Igbonason caused the fumble is Wake Forest. And that's Ellison that jumped on it. It's a loss of 14.
Yeah, and let's watch. Blitz is coming from this side over here, coming through the line, and you see the late one coming around. Good job of chopping down the arms of Ellison and then finding the football and knocking it out.
It's all about chopping in Piscataway.
Chop, chop, chop.
2nd and 24. Ellison, nice grab, but can't do anything with it. I believe they'll say it's incomplete as Deion Jennings. Well, they give him the catch, but tackled as the ground calls the fumble, so it's going to be 3rd and very long.
Good job by Deion Jennings staying with his assignment. Anytime you get those running back flares and a guy coming from inside out, sometimes it's easy to lose him with your eyes in the linebacker position, but great job. And now on 3rd down and forever, Rutgers is packing that line of scrimmage, showing pressure.
We'll get to the Rutgers 46-yard line to move the chains. Keyshawn Williams does it.
No way. Wow, what a play. And the same exact play we saw in the first half on 3rd and about 15 or 20. That little wide receiver screen and just poor tackling by Rutgers defensively, and the will to win by Keyshawn Williams. That was great.
He needed 26. He got 28. He has receivers blocking down the field. Breaks a tackle from Avery Young. It's the second time today we've seen Ifeanyi Maije down the field as a defensive tackle trying to make a play, and this time he got banged up. He's still down on the field.
Well, I think that's the last time Greg Schiano's going to run that defense versus that offensive look.
Talking about how prolific Sam Hartman is, over 9,000 yards in his career.
And over 4,000 yards in the season. It's, you know, you don't get those numbers. Those numbers are almost impossible, especially with this Wake Forest team that isn't an air raid team by any means. This is a RPO offense that, you know, is run first, but they've had such good production catching the football with the running backs out of the backfield and their big wide receivers on the outside.
And he's only 18 yards away from having the 5th best passing total in a single season by any ACC quarterback. He's passed the likes of Jameis Winston, Ryan Finley, Mike Glennon, Chris Winkie, and Deshaun Watson today for best single season passing totals.
I think I've heard of those guys.
Yeah, it's heady company, right?
Some big names.
Warren Ruggiero, the offensive coordinator, said Hartman originally, when he came to Winston-Salem, was a guy that could throw, that lined up at quarterback. Now he's a quarterback that can throw, and boy, has he the last couple of years.
His confidence is growing too. Ruggiero talked about kind of the nerves and the pressure he experienced last year. He's washed all those away, and he is stone cold.
For a 3rd and 26 conversion, they go to the ground, and Christian Turner will get a few.
And it's important for the Rutgers defense to not get frustrated. You give up a 3rd and 20, you gotta hold here. You just have to.
Tried to squeeze one in there to Perry, incomplete on the 3rd and 8 with Abraham covering up Perry. And 3rd and 8, that's nothing compared to 3rd and 26.
Yeah, but there it is, that formation again. That's what they ran the screen out of. Different personnel out there. Let's see if they go to the bottom of the screen. They got one-on-one matchup.
Goes to the middle, and it's open, and it's Perry. It's free near the 20.
And I think this is one of the things that defensive coordinator Rob Smith, even though he left Rutgers, but this is a time in the game where you want a guy focused on just defense. How do you make an adjustment to a formation? Head coaches got a lot on their plate at this point in the game, and there's one of those tip passes we talked about early in the game with that short release point and the direct shot that Hartman takes. He's had some passes deflected, but
that was Maije there, who was banged up a couple plays ago. Slows down Hartman's rhythm for a moment, but he goes right back to work, and another 1st down throw. 1st and goal after Perry makes another grab at the 7.
Good job of staying in there under pressure, and A.T. Perry does such a good job of just getting in the vision of his quarterback. That time right in the middle of the field, stopped in the zone for a good 1st down.
Career high 8th grab for Perry today. Gives the Deeps a chance on the doorstep. The handoff goes to Turner to the 5. Demon Deacons started the season 8-0, lost 3 of their last 5 games, but still a chance to have as good a season as they've ever had if they get a win here today. Incomplete. Deshaun Williams covered up by Longerbeam.
Second great play of the day by Longerbeam. Been impressed with the way these Rutgers defensive backs have just stayed in the hip pocket of the wide receivers and reacted to the football at the time it's thrown. Keep an eye out up here. That's A.T. Perry, touchdown machine.
On the 12th play of the drive, it's over the head of his intended receiver, Jamal Banks. 4th down.
Missed opportunity by Wake Forest and Sam Hartman, and phenomenal resilience by this Rutgers defense to give up a 3rd and 22 like they did, and then to come back and hold Wake Forest to a field goal. You're giving yourself a chance.
Nick Skiba makes this. He's 3rd all-time in the history of the Atlantic Coast Conference in scoring, passing Ross Martin of Duke with his 23-yard attempt. 11 more points today for the junior from Clover, South Carolina. Demon Deacons up 13. Later today, it's what college football fans have been waiting for. The CFP semifinals, just under 2 hours from the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic between number 1 Alabama and number 4 Cincinnati. Then it's 7:30 Eastern tonight. Down south, number 2 Michigan and number 3 Georgia in the Capital One Orange Bowl at the bottom of this great state. Here, Wake Forest leads Rutgers 23-10 with 6:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. Youngblood refuses to call for a fair catch today, and he loses the ball. But the Scarlet Knights get it back at the 23. Get some.
Lost the shoe and the football.
Fortunate that a teammate was able to jump on it. Scarlet Knights cover it up and keep possession of the ball with Miles Goodard recovering Youngblood's fumble. Scarlet Knights down 13 with 6:31 to go in the 3rd quarter.
They got the big tight ends in now. People go back to that gap run game.
Gavin Wimsatt swings it out. And those big linebackers and safeties have been everywhere today for the Demon Deacons, Alyssa.
They typically are whenever Wake is having success defensively. Luke Masterson's one of those guys that coaches look to make sure the younger guys know what they're supposed to be doing on this team. Hurst talked about how he came in as a safety, ended up switching to linebacker. He talks so much about how he values that experience because it helps him understand what's actually happening behind him. From a coaching standpoint, they look at Ryan Smenda as well as sort of being that next guy up. Dave Clawson said it was a great gift to hear that Smenda was going to come back next year. Another local guy wrestled and played football here in Jacksonville at Fleming Island High School. They've been everywhere.
Alyssa Lane with Jacksonville roots, making sure she's ready for the local news today. And Wimsatt gives himself up just shy of the 30, and I think they're going to get Wake Forest for a hit on the quarterback here.
Wimsatt's ready to call the next play, but it looked like the defender tried to pull up right when he saw Wimsatt start to slide. You still, if you have contact, technically it can be called. Usually officials will see the situation, but
seems like some uncertainty between Kevin Marr and his friends here as the 4 of them converge.
And you see Dave Clawson right there. He's not gonna stop barking at him. You stand that close to the sideline, you're gonna get an earful.
You guys gonna watch the semifinals tonight? Yep. Yeah, I am. You? Yes. Yes, I am.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's actually. Yeah. Now that you look at, I mean, that's going to be called.
That's Smenda.
Should be called. Well, it was called. Wasn't intentional, but did look like he hit him in the head.
After the play was over, personal foul, late hit. Defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
See Smenda, that right forearm.
The previous play is under further review.
Oh, that's why I wondered why it took so long for them to make the call, as if they were going to review this for anything more than a late hit. Right after Alyssa was talking about Smenda's roots in this region, now look to see if he gets to stay on the field.
Yeah, and to me, I see how they can call this a penalty. However, I don't see it as forcible contact to the head. There was contact, but I don't see it as a launch. I mean, that's what they're reviewing right now, is targeting. But to me, in the spirit of the rule and the spirit of this game, I don't see Ryan Smenda being ejected for a targeting call there. And just to review what they're looking at for targeting, first, they're going to look, is there an indicator? Is there attack with forcible contact with a launch or a thrust or lowering the head? Obviously, the head was not involved. And to me, that looks kind of incidental, like he was jumping over him. And he is a defenseless player in this situation too. So it's just going to be determined on whether it's forcible or not, right? Whether that was hard enough hit to the head to warrant a targeting foul.
I'm sure this is really challenging for someone like you that played at the highest level in the ACC and in the professional at the NFL for the Giants. The way they've changed the game, because your instincts, everything Smenda was trying to do there was to stay away from the quarterback's head.
Yeah, I probably would have played about 2 games in my college career if this rule was in place when I was there. I was the ultimate jump on pile guy. So if there was people almost to the ground, I'm jumping on top of them. And that's kind of the way the game was played then. But
how has it changed linebackers' instincts?
Well, you know, everything is the same. It's basically, well,
after further review, there was a targeting foul on defense number 5 for Wake Forest. Therefore, number 5 is disqualified for the remainder of the game. Automatic first down.
Well, and you said the question was Wimsett, the ball carrier, defenseless? They deemed he was.
Yeah, and he was, because he was sliding. He initiated his slide, and they're saying that was the launch coming out of the crowd. I mean, that by the rule, yes. Now, the forcible contact is the questionable thing, and the tough part for Smenda is not only does he have to sit out the rest of this game, he has to sit out the first half of the first game next year. And you know, what timely story by Alyssa on these guys now.
Yeah, from Fleming Island nearby, and they have to take his helmet away. He does get to stay on the bench at least. Team high 6 tackles today.
Yeah, I like that call.
Rutgers with a fresh set of downs at the Wake Forest 40. Jameer Wright-Collins has got no place to go here. Miles Fox, Dave Boston said he's going to try to get him a 20th year of eligibility next year. In all seriousness, this is his 7th year of football, and he's fired up.
Well, you want to get a defense aggressive? Kick out one of their leaders. And this defensive line, whether it's Miles Fox or Suleiman Kamara, number 1 in there, they had some penetration on that last run play.
Suleiman just a 6th-year senior, as opposed to Fox, a 7th-year guy. It's a throw to Langen. He's been everywhere. He gets the grab in front of J.J. Roberts. It'll be 3rd and short for Rutgers.
I like that play call by Sean Gleason, understanding that, look, this interior defensive line, they're fired up right now. Let's get the ball in the perimeter, get the big guys have their hands on their hips, get them running laterally. And now, on 3rd and 4, we have a lot open to us in this playbook. Understanding that you're getting close to the midfield line, possibly go for it on 4th and 1 if you get to that point.
Langen comes across Wimsett. This is a tight throw, and it's a good catch made by Isaiah Washington for a first down.
Well, good catch is an understatement there, Taylor. That was a phenomenal, I mean, the strength in the hands of Isaiah Washington pulling that ball in with Jasir Taylor draped all over him, and the accuracy of that throw. They got some young guys with a lot of talent on this team.
And after the throw, Wimsatt goes to the bench.
Yeah, might as well make the best throw of the game. Take a seat, young man.
Vedral comes back onto the field from the Wake Forest 44. Here comes Langen again. Nice block in front of him, and he dives inside the 40 to the 39. Langen's thrown for 21 yards. He's caught the ball for 48 yards, and now he's run it for 20.
Pretty good game. I don't know if he's necessarily Cordell Stewart, but he's definitely got a slash somewhere in there in his name because he's done everything.
89 total yards in 3 different ways.
And that's what you need, right? You get your star players out for the game. You got to have a couple guys do multiple things. It goes to the intelligence of Johnny Langdon and also the intelligence of this entire offense. Subbing that many quarterbacks in, that many different snap count variations. This offensive line has been good.
Have to throw the kitchen sink at the Deeks if they're going to win, but they're going down here as Bothroyd gets to Vedral. Fans can join us virtually for the College Football Playoff All Access experience, featuring exclusive content, games, and daily prize drops. Register today at espn.com/CFP All Access. It's the 9th tackle for loss for Wake Forest today. It's a season high. Bothroyd, it's the guy that stepped in for Boogie Basham, drafted in the 2nd round last year. He's had a nice year, and he'll be back in 2022. On 3rd and 9, Vedral is not going to get there, but he's going to get down to the 38, where Masterson makes the tackle. It's going to be about 4th and 3 and change.
And this is decision time because you could go for it on 4th down here with that pickup. And I think the design of that last play lends itself to the fact that that's what Greg Schiano is leaning towards, going for it on 4th down. They've gone for it 35 times coming into this game on 4th down, 12th most in the nation, the most in the Big Ten.
Need to get to almost the 34-yard line. Vedral has the ball batted down. Turnover on downs. Dion Bergen has come up big today.
Great job by Wake Forest defensively. They got caught showing blitz. Luke Masterson had the wherewithal to audible out into a cover 2 coverage. It threw off Vedral, who he thought initially was going to be open, wasn't because of the change in the coverage, and great job getting his hands up by Dion Bergen Jr. He's had a great game today.
Bergen did not play in the Duke's Mayo Bowl last year, opted out of that game. Clearly he's a Florida guy. Kissimmee, Florida is where he's from, and he's back home playing in his home state. Deeks with their best starting position of the game, and somehow Hartman stayed on his feet and completed it to Perry with a flag down.
That much separation, you wonder if it was offensive pass interference by Perry. There's another flag down back at the 40-yard line on the far side of the field as well.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Ineligible receiver downfield. Offense number 50. Holding on an eligible receiver. Defense number 5. Those penalties decline. Offset. Replay the down. First down.
So let's do it again.
You see right there in the middle, number 50, clearly downfield. And then down at the bottom of your screen, bottom corner, that was the hold before the ball was thrown.
Hartman, as the Deeks pick up the blitz, throws to Perry again out past the 45-yard line.
Nice catch by A.T. Perry. Catching the football away from his body, bringing it in, and there you go.
Gator, TaxSlayer Gator Bowl trophy. Maybe they'll pose with it tonight like Holgo did the other day. Dana Holgerson in the statue of the Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl that he posed with at his house afterwards. Greg Schiano's going to have to mount a comeback against his buddy Dave Clawson if he wants to do that. We head to the fourth quarter in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl with number 17 Wake Forest looking for the 11th win of the season. Scarlet Knights, one of 5 teams ever at 5-7 to be in a bowl game, trying to pull off the upset. This is the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania with Mark Herzlich. I'm Taylor Zarzer up in the booth. Let's go down to the field and Alyssa Lang as we start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, guys, quick injury update for Wake Forest. Running back Christian Beal-Smith has had ice on his ankle for the past few minutes. I just saw them put a boot on that right ankle, and he actually left the field, so I would anticipate not seeing him again for the rest of the game.
So Justice Ellison, Christian Turner, Quentin Cooley are the guys to watch in the backfield. This is Ellison with no place to run. It's going to be 3rd and 3 after he loses a yard. Keontae Hamilton on the tackle running off the field.
Keontae Hamilton, 2-sport athlete at Rutgers, on the wrestling team as well.
Hartman on the 3rd and 3. Holds onto the football, somehow gets out of there. First down run. Inside the 30, inside the 25.
You know, it's hard to stop a guy who's passed the ball for 9,000 yards in his career. And this is what he's capable of on the ground as well. You know, you think you got him bottled up in the backfield, and then Sam Hartman is such a good runner and a situational runner. That's 2 big pickups he's had with his legs.
35 yards, now throws near the goal line, and Taylor Marin makes the catch in front of Longerbeam. 1st and goal for 18 more. Just like that, the Deeks are on the doorstep after Mohamed Toure just about had Hartman dead to rights in his own 40-yard line. Instead, a 35-yard run, 18-yard completion. And Hartman's now 5th all-time in single-season ACC history in passing yards. It's Beal-Smith, or excuse me, Ellison. Ellison that gets down to the 2.
And that's one. That's one stop by this Rutgers defense, and got to do it a few more times. That's 2 stops. Man.
He's getting a yard each time, though, so now it's 3rd and goal from the 1.
And Mohamed Toure, we mentioned he had a chance at Hartman before that long scramble run. He's been in the backfield a bunch, and he's did a good job getting his hands around the ankles of Ellison on that play. And Greg Schiano back to his old defensive coordinator stuff here. Let's see what he calls on 3rd down.
He will give it to Ellison a 3rd time. He'll throw to the back corner, and it's caught again for a touchdown. Brandon Chapman, 2nd today.
Man, you see that C on Brandon Chapman's chest for a reason. He's a leader on this team, but look at the strength of holding on to this football. It's just a throw it up, let my guy make a play. And with the defender all over him, good job by Chapman concentrating, coming down with it for a touchdown.
6th-year senior in his last game gets 2 touchdown grabs, and now Wake will go for 2. try to make it a 21-point cushion. Hartman to Perry with a flag coming down.
It's number 5. That penalty's declined. Result of the play. Good.
Dave Clawson's team is up 21 points, in large part because of his Charlotte, North Carolina quarterback, Sam Hartman. 11 rushing touchdowns, 39 passing. Now 50 on the season for Hartman and the Deacs. Mark Herzlich's mohawk versus Sam Hartman's mullet.
There you go. Look at that.
Wake Forest and Hartman up 3 touchdowns today. And this is heady company here. 50 touchdowns he's responsible for this season. The same amount as Deshaun Watson 5 years ago. More than Pickett this year, or Deshaun 6 years ago. One more to catch Lamar.
I mean, the way things are going right now, with 12 minutes and 24 seconds left in this game, it's not out of question to think Sam Hartman won't tie that or break that record. And you know, no one needs a little hair around the top of their ears.
I love how you stayed true to that. Youngblood has stayed true to coming out of the end zone all day. And he gets up near the 29-yard line. Here is today's clutch delivery brought to you by Chipotle.
Yeah, and it wasn't with his arm. It was on the ground. That big 35-yard scamper led to him being able to use his arm. A.T. Perry climbing the ladder to convert that 2-point conversion, and Sam Hartman has had himself a day.
We have an injury on the field, too, bringing the card out. We'll update what's happening here in just a moment with 12:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Wake Forest up 3 touchdowns. See all the Wake Forest players on the field clapping for their teammate Ivan Mora, the punter and the kickoff man for Wake Forest. What looked to be a serious injury as he was running downfield to try to make a tackle on that kickoff.
Yeah, there's no reason to show it, but he's got that air cast around his right ankle. And you never want to see that, especially in these bowl games.
Good to see that he's at least not in a significant amount of pain at the moment, but as you said, it was a serious looking injury to the freshman from Dalton, Georgia.
Made the tackle. Silver linings.
See the respect he's gained from all his teammates as he leaves the field with 12:15 to go in the fourth quarter.
Hope he's all right.
It's been a great season punting, and a couple of good ones today. And as you said, gains a lot of respect from your brothers when you run down the field after you kick it off and you make the tackle.
Yep, absolutely. And this Wake Forest team is going through different injuries, different setbacks this year, but you never like to see something happen last game, last quarter of the season.
To your point about those injuries, Wake Forest will bring back almost every starter on offense next season, including Javonte Nash, who they lost to injury, their right tackle early in the season.
He'll complement most of that offensive line. Expected Zach Tom, their left tackle, to probably test the waters of the NFL, and Carl Roberson might as well.
Roberson out today with a knee issue after minor surgery a few weeks ago. So Rutgers down 3 touchdowns now with just 12:15 left in the game. We've been flipping around or have a lot of chores at the end of the year before you get ready for the semifinal games. The game is played a lot closer than the score would indicate. Gavin Wimsett at quarterback now. He'll take off. First down into Wake Forest territory. Wimsett's got a lot of speed inside the Demon Deacon 40.
It's a great run. 2 Demon Deacons are down, but pretty good coverage on the back end, and you scramble for a 40-yard pickup. You get a couple more of those, they'll be all right.
And now another injury on the field. Zion Keith had an interception earlier in the game, and he's down at midfield.
Tyler Williams, the defensive tackle, he was also slow getting off the field, way behind the play where it first started. He walked off under his own volition. It looks to be all right.
Keith, we mentioned the interception that he made earlier in the game and the beginning of the second half. Also a baseball and high school track star. Terrific athlete in that secondary.
You see him, 28, right? Oh goodness, yeah. It's not funny, but as you're working your way across the field, sometimes your eyes are down back at the quarterback, and those collisions will take place.
Takes the big hit from Isaiah Washington on what was the longest play of the game for Rutgers, a 32-yard scamper by Wimsett. Dave Clawson calling the defense today after Lyle Hemphill went to Duke. Wimsett stands back there and throws it at the feet of Alaimo, incomplete. Again, we mentioned this earlier in the game. Lyle Hemphill, who was the defensive coordinator, is going to be a position coach at Duke next year. Rob Smith, who was the defensive coordinator at Rutgers, also leaving today to go coach Duke on Mike Elko's staff, who of course also coached for Dave Clawson at Wake Forest and was the defensive coordinator for who Wake was originally going to play today, Texas A&M. Did you get all that?
Yeah, it's all very intertwined and ancestral in college football coaching.
Amir Wright Collins on the swing pass inside the 35.
But yeah, just the circumstances and the happenstances around that whole thing, it's just mind-blowing how it's all connected. But I think Greg Schiano and Dave Clawson did a good job calling their defenses today.
Wimsett throws it into the bench. It'll be 4th down, looking for Shameen Jones.
And it's been a while since we've seen Noah Vedral. He was coming into the game as the best passing option, and these are obvious passing situations right now, but Vedral on the sideline with the headphones on calling the plays. I don't know if it's a changing of the guard or not, but
that's what it feels like,
yeah,
right?
Gavin Wimsett, the 4-star dual-threat quarterback recruit, he's getting his opportunity to try to lead this comeback.
You want to win today, but also playing for 2022, it seems. On 4th and 6, underneath, and Langen going to be about a yard shy. Johnny's given incredible effort today, but he's going to end up a yard short, so it's a turnover on downs. The Deeks can feel their 11th win of the season.
The Tax Slayer Gator Bowl is brought to you by Tax Slayer, File Fearlessly, and Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today during the Toyotathon sales event.
Great moments through the years. Wake Forest winning the first one 75 years ago against the South Carolina Gamecocks as Turner gets a couple. Pride of Mobile, Alabama, Vince Dooley and Bill Dooley coaching against each other 50 years ago. Georgia versus North Carolina. Bobby Bowden, the late great Bobby Bowden, he unfortunately lost this past year, coaching in his last game in this stadium just over a decade ago. Terrific, rich history throughout the years. There's the program from the first one, almost 76 years to the day. It's the only other time Wake Forest has played in this game. And they won it. Looking for a second one. Hartman underneath finds Williams, and Keyshawn has a first down past the 42-yard line. You know, Mark, there's a lot of discussion about the worth of bowl games when you have 40-plus in a season. I know as somebody that was an All-American playing at this level, you'd give anything to play one more college football game.
Yeah, I don't know if my body would give anything to play one more college football game, but you're right. You know, when you're finishing up your career, but also during your career, it's a reward that you have to earn, and you get to go to a city. If you're good enough, you usually get to go down south where it's nice and warm. Playing at Boston College, that was always important to us, and it was a time where you really got to know your teammates. A lot of times, especially for the young guys, you come in and everything happens so fast. I mean, you're going go, 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 and then you get a little bit of time to really settle in and know your teammates for who they are during that bowl season and bowl practice, and just that camaraderie. It builds team and it builds culture.
Yeah, I meant 22-year-old Herslick, not
Yes.
32-year-old Herslick.
Yes. Yeah, 22-year-old. Yes, I would have loved it.
Nice pickup there for Turner as the clock continues to run. With almost 9 minutes remaining in this one. Of course, the semifinals are coming up next. 3:30 Eastern, Alabama and Cincinnati. And then it's 7:30 Eastern. Down at the bottom of this state, it is Georgia and Michigan. First down into Rutgers territory near the 40 goes Turner, and the games aren't over tonight. So stay up, watch the ball drop, and then get to bed pretty quickly, because tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, it's the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl, number 9 Oklahoma State against number 5 Notre Dame. At 5, it's the Rose Bowl game presented by Capital One Venture X, 11th ranked Utah and 6th ranked Ohio State. And then at 8:45, it's the All-State Sugar Bowl, number 8 Baylor and number 7 Ole Miss. In that middle game, in the granddaddy of them all, C.J. Stroud. What a season at quarterback for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, he's been so good, and Ryan Day has done a great job of just finding more pieces to fit into that offense and defense, and it's gonna be a fun one to watch.
Turner gets to the 40. I love those Utes helmets.
Oh yeah.
That Utah is wearing tomorrow. So fired up to be in the Rose Bowl for the first time ever, and every Utah Ute around the country watching. A good buddy back in Charlotte, Steve Smith, I know is fired up to watch his alma mater tomorrow.
Speaking of helmets, this is the 5th time that Wake Forest has won the gold helmets this year. If they win this, they'll be 5-0 in the gold helmets.
Did you get pumped for a uniform change?
Yeah, I did. We didn't have many when I was at Boston College, but when I was with the New York Giants, we played a couple of those color rush games. It was fun.
Hartman bounces it in there to Williams.
I'd always get excited. I get more excited when the other teams would break out their special uniforms against us. It's like scheduling us for homecoming. It's like, you better not do that. I remember Florida State tried to black us out twice, and we beat them both times. They haven't blacked anyone out since.
Yeah, I wonder what Baylor thinks about Ole Miss's uniforms tomorrow night. They've got the cool-looking blue unis tomorrow night in New Orleans.
I was going to ask your spotter how he feels about the crazy uniforms. you get those color clashing. It's almost impossible to read the numbers up here from the booth sometimes.
Russ Moore's done a terrific job today, as always. And Turner goes down near the 36-yard line. Fourth down, I think they keep the offense out there on the field.
Yeah, and maybe only because if you put Skiba out there and he doesn't hit it, then his percentage goes down. He's not the all-time best percentage kicker in NCAA history.
Right. He needs one more to tie that mark. Hartman, easy pitch and catch with Perry, first down.
They love that little route. And Sam Hartman's so good at throwing it at the perfect time. He throws that a little bit later. A.T. Perry's already made his way to the sideline a little bit earlier. He's covered up. And look at that game today for A.T. Perry. He has been phenomenal. I mean, he's just been so good.
Well, Mark, there's 3 different records we're keeping track of right now. If Skiba kicks another field goal and makes it, he ties the all-time accuracy record in NCAA history at 90%. If Hartman throws or runs for another touchdown, he ties the ACC record in a single season with Lamar Jackson. And Perry is only 38 yards away from the greatest single season receiving yards mark in Wake Forest history. So all kinds of crazy things have happened for Wake in 2021.
And I'm almost guarantee you that Dave Clawson is not keeping track of those same things the way we are, but you know, if he was, he'd have to pick favorites right now. Okay, we're gonna have Sam Hartman try to throw it right now downfield to A.T. Perry, check off 2 of those marks.
There you go. Since we're giving shout outs, Kevin Maloney, our stats position, has been sensational all year for us. It's Tom Schofield, Dennis Lanius crew, Mitch Hummer and Jonathan Fader and company. It's been a joy to work with. As Ellison gets inside the 30. I know you had so much fun with Chris Cotter and team throughout the entire year. Hers, appreciate you stepping in for our buddy Matt Stinchcomb today.
Yeah, I'm glad Matt's feeling better. Reports coming out of his spot, he's feeling better. And
oh, he's been all over us via text throughout the entire game.
Good.
Stinch is that's a very good sign. This drive's gone over 7 minutes. The 11th play of the game, 11th play of the drive rather. It's a 3rd and 7. Ellison, first down and a touchdown.
Justice Ellison has been so big for this team this year, and as much as, just first of all, watch these pullers coming around and then Ellison break through that line, but every single time there have been any sort of injuries going on in the backfield for Wake Forest, Ellison has stepped up. He's improved as a pass protection blocker, he's improved as a receiver, and you see what he can do on the ground, busting through the line of scrimmage and breaking tackles. And again, you talked about the guys coming back. Christian Turner's going to be back. Christian Beal-Smith will be back. Justin Ellison will be back. That whole offensive backfield will be returning for Wake next year.
They don't run it as much as maybe a Michigan State and Kenneth Walker does up there, but when they do, they're effective. All Deeks in Jacksonville. Week 17 on Monday Night Football as a huge AFC North matchup between the Browns and the Steelers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN, and ESPN2 will have Monday Night Football with Peyton and Eli. Coverage begins at 6 Eastern, 3 Pacific with Monday Night Countdown. Look at that, 1994 Gator Bowl. Peyton Manning, 189 yards here in Jacksonville with a touchdown against the Virginia Tech Hokies. See if he lets Eli get a few words in. I love how Eli busts his chops incessantly on that show. This is Young from the 18, takes it all the way near midfield before he goes down into Wake Forest territory. Fans, be sure to check out the ESPN app for the Capital One postgame immediately following the game. Hey, what we see on ESPN2 on Monday nights, is that what we got from Eli when you were his teammate with the Giants? Just chop busting all the time?
Oh, yeah. You know, Rutgers Nation out there with the chop. Yeah, he'll bust your chops, Eli will. And you got to know them pretty well, too. You got to spend some time on the golf course with the Manning brothers. And, yes, Eli is quiet, kind of sits back and then we'll just let you say something and then get on you about it. He is a character, and he's an awesome, awesome guy.
You throw in Cook, and then
yeah, right.
You've got the funniest man in the world. So quite the family of football. This is thrown down to the 43 by Wimsatt. Complete to Jameer Wright-Collins. Of course, Rutgers won the first football game ever, and Eli's places went to the first place they ever played football in that parking lot in Piscataway. Wimsatt overthrows Youngblood. It'll be third down. You got to give Greg Schiano's team a lot of credit for how hard they fought today. I know the score will not reflect how competitive they were in this football game.
Yeah, no, you're right. And the fact that, I think as this game has went on, because it was so close for so long, we kind of forget, you lose track of the fact that Greg Schiano got his team back together 8 days ago. I mean, he just got that call that, hey, you're going to be in a bowl game. Guys, you mentioned that the punter fly across the world was in Australia, Adam Korsak, and other guys who were trained for the NFL Combine came back to school, and they put together a good performance today.
Wimsatt gives himself up right at the marker.
And you're also getting some really good in-game experience for a guy like Wimsatt. Freshman on this team, a guy that they can see possibly being a leader for them in the future, with Noah Vedral being a senior.
First down by Jameer Wright-Collins. Yeah, to your point, the future is on display. Vedral, some nice third down completions today. Kept his team in the game in the first half, and I don't think people will realize this, but his Wright-Collins goes down. But Rutgers, right near the half mark, had a chance to tie the football game before the interception throw by Vedral. It's been all Wake Forest since.
Yeah, you're right. It was that interception and then the interception that was thrown early in the second half that gave Wake Forest a lead that just became insurmountable. And Rutgers offensively, they did a really good job of running the football in that first half, got away from it a little bit because of the score deficit, but nothing that Greg Schiano can't put the film on at some point and coach his guys up. And see another running back walking off the field with trainers. And
yeah, Aaron Young and Jameer Wright-Collins both banged up today. You mentioned Kyle Monagai and Isaiah Pacheco not playing.
But they still have 21. Johnny Langan, Swiss Army knife, he can do a little bit of everything.
Johnny standing to Wimsatt's left with 3 minutes to go. Thrown behind Youngblood, incomplete. Today's Capital One player of the game is Sam Hartman, throwing for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, 50 total touchdowns, second in ACC history, one behind Lamar Jackson's record from 5 years ago.
Well, Sam Hartman's day probably is over in terms of touchdown categories, but he's got another year. He can try again next year. Break that record. Either way, being second to Lamar Jackson doesn't sound too bad.
I think that's the thing that people have a hard time wrapping their minds around here as we go into 2022 with that extra year of COVID eligibility. Hartman's only listed as a redshirt sophomore. It's his 4th year of college. Theoretically, he could come back for 2 more years if he wanted.
Yep.
As so many of his Demon Deacon teammates have done.
it's a different decision nowadays too, with NIL deals and the ability to provide for your family while still at college. And I have no idea if Sam Hartman has any of those things going on or not, but it's a decision that especially quarterbacks across the country keep in mind when they are making that choice of whether to leave for the pros or to stay in college.
Rutgers trying to stay on the field with 2:24 left. Over the head of Youngblood. Wake will get it back. And Wake is going to finish the season 11-3, matching the best record in school history 15 years ago. And Mark, something that's interesting to note is you see the 17 next to their name. That's their final ranking in the CFP committee rankings. There will not be another poll for that. There will be one in the AP in the coaches poll. Wake comes in at 20th in the AP, 19th in the coaches poll. The best ranking they've ever had at the end of a season was 17th. And there's already a few teams that have lost in front of them. Chances are Dave Clawson will guide his team to the best final ranking in school history. Cooley gets a couple more. Let's see what Sam Hartman's done today.
Yeah, he was 23 for 39 for 304 yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And it was touchdowns early. A.T. Perry, good job of wrangling this one in there. And then this Houdini escape in the pocket, running for 30-plus yards, setting up the next touchdown, the second of the day for Brandon Chapman. And there he is right there. Man of the day, man of the hour, man with a mullet, Sam Hartman.
Mitch Griffiths gets to clean things up at quarterback. Handing off again to Cooley. Cooley will get a couple more. So just under an hour away from Alabama and Cincinnati. And in 5 hours, it's Georgia and Michigan. Alyssa Lang, are you going with the same picks as Mr. Herzlich?
I don't know who Mark picked, so I guess I can't be accused of stealing picks. I like Georgia in this one. I think they're coming in really motivated after getting embarrassed in the SEC Championship in Atlanta a few weeks ago. And on the other side, I'm taking Alabama, but kind of for similar reasons. They've been just feeding off of this underdog mentality, which seems crazy, makes Nick Saban even more of a goat for making his team continuously believe they're the underdog. So I like Bama and Georgia tonight.
Rematch of the SEC Championship game and the National Championship from 4 years ago, if in fact those are your winners. And that could be the last play of the game as both coaches' headsets are off, and the Gatorade bath goes to Dave Clawson and the Deeks today. Wake Forest scores the game's final 24 points of the game to win this one 38-10. And matching the best record in school history with 11 wins.
And what a year and what a career at Wake Forest it's been for Dave Clawson. You see the embrace of two longtime friends right there. And both Greg Schiano, with what he has done with this Rutgers football team in his first stint and also since he's come back, combine that with what Dave Clawson has done at Wake Forest and the complete restructuring, reorganization, and revamping of this Wake Forest program. I mean, these are two of the best builders in the country.
And here is Dave Clawson with Alyssa.
Coach, you talk about the championships you go into the season wanting to win. A bowl championship's one of them. Now you've done it. What does this mean to the program?
It's always a great way to finish the season, and it's really been a magical year and a really special group. And I'm so proud of them. Talking to them last night for the last time was hard. There's so many guys in this group that have done so much to elevate our program, and I'm really going to miss them.
What does it mean for the performance that Sam Hartman put on for a lot of those sixth-year guys today?
Well, everyone was saying, well, geez, can he bounce back? And I'm just glad for him he didn't have to wait a whole year like a year ago. Sam's a competitor. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the ACC, and hopefully he'll start getting some of that recognition going into next season.
You're returning so many of your stars from this year to next year already. I know you're excited about it. What's the ceiling for this Wake Forest team?
You know what? We're going to enjoy this one, and every year is a different year with different dynamics in a different group. And the 21 season is special. The 22 team will have to forge their own identity.
Thanks, Coach. Congrats.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Wake Forest. They win the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. Coming up next is the Ram Trucks College Football pregame show with Reese Davis, David Pollock, Desmond Howard, and Joey Galloway. Mark Herzlich, a privilege to work with you today, my friend. Thank you to Alyssa Lang, to Matt Stinchcomb, to Tom Schofield, and our entire crew for all of their terrific work all season. I'm Taylor Zarzer. Thank you so much for your support of college football here on ESPN. The semifinals are coming up in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.
Welcome to